Hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and welcome to a night to remember tonight. That is right. If you're tuning into the stream, I'll say it now. It is raining out there on the track right now with over 40 cars on track. I'm joined tonight with me by Jammer. Hello, Jammer.
Good evening, Debug. How are we doing?
I'm excited. I'm really excited seeing all those cars on a track with rain. It's going to be amazing. For those of you who have just joined us tonight, we are racing on the final of the 5-weeker series, Assetto Corsa Competizione. We've had over usually 40 cars with us in the RWB event. Tonight is a special one. We've had 4 one-hour races, and tonight we are going to be having a look at a 2-hour race. I mean, pretty much same rules go as before. The same points are as before. The same leader right now, which is Speed Demon, is still leading like before. It's just that it's an hour extra of this, what is set to be a mental race, Jammer.
Yeah, and I think the addition of rain, which I think everyone was either doing a rain dance for or, crossing their fingers it wasn't going to happen. And, some of their prayers have been answered and some of them hasn't. And this is certainly going to make qualifying very, very tricky indeed.
Oh, definitely. The prayers have been answered, to be honest. The prayers have been answered. But the big thing tonight is whether the prayers will be answered for people who are behind Jake Moore in the actual competition. Because we were having a quick look at it earlier on, and Jake Moore is currently leading this competition by 306 points. Now, if he has an unfortunate crash tonight, which we all hope doesn't happen, and he doesn't finish at all in the points, there is a chance that we could have some more leaders. There is a chance that Jordan, Kevin Cox and Moyes might take advantage of this and might win the actual championship. We were talking about this, and we'll go a bit more into that later on. But Jammer, was this predicted on this race? Because you were going to be racing tonight, but you've unfortunately, for different circumstances, had to join me in this horrible commentary box instead. So were you planning on it raining tonight in the race, or?
Well, I don't know if I was planning on it, to be honest. I think I would have preferred it not to rain, in my circumstances. But I did have a wet setup. I was expecting it, so I knew there was certainly going to be a chance of it. But yeah, sort of glad I'm not racing now, actually.
I'm just watching some of the lads on the racetrack at the moment, Fabio, Rigel and Charger. Charger's taking it very easy around that track, isn't he? Almost as if he doesn't want to end his race before he even starts it.
Well, this is the thing, is I'm not sure whether anyone's really had any wet running on this track, because certainly the practice servers have mostly been dry from what I could see. So I think there's been very limited running. So I think people are naturally going to have to take it very easily at this point. No one wants to have a crash during qualifying, because it'll unsettle your confidence, and I think confidence is going to take a bit of a whack as it is anyway in these conditions.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, definitely. You're absolutely right there. Just to give you guys a shout out on the YouTube channel as well. Jammer will be keeping an eye on the chat and YouTube tonight. So Danger Dave, Aidan Allwyn, Michael Bullymore as well. We are here. We're here to answer any questions tonight. Also, if you've got any questions to Xerax from last week's stream, who does our sim racing tools, you're more than welcome to throw those our way, and we'll try and fire those off to him at some stage. But Jammer, chances are now that it could be. It's no longer, in my opinion, a one-horse race, because anything could happen to our resident Jake Moore Speed Demon tonight, couldn't it? Especially with this wet weather, and I'm sure the guys who are second, third, and fourth have all of a sudden got a smile on their face. Really,
absolutely, mate. Like I said, I think there are some people who I know have been doing a bit of a rain dance, because it makes the conditions are obviously very variable, and the people who are normally fast in the dry may not necessarily be as fast in the wet. So, I think there are people who've specifically set their cars up for this, and they are going to be rubbing their hands together at the moment.
No, too right. It's a shame to see old Jordan. I think if he had started the race, or if he'd attended all of them, he'd have been quite up there tonight. He is up there tonight, isn't he? What am I talking about? He's second in the championship. That's an epic fail.
Not a clue.
I must be thinking of someone else, but yeah, no. I mean, this chap tonight does have a really good chance. I mean, I've been blowing his whistle a little bit, saying how much of a good driver he's been, especially with that Aston Martin. I'm not actually seeing Jake Moore on track or in game at the moment. I don't know if he's even in their chat system at the moment. I'm just trying to have a look for him now. We've got Don Jordan. He's currently lapping fastest, which we kind of predicted. But yeah,
I think you're right, mate. I can't see him anywhere. That's interesting.
Yeah, no, we've got a few people in the YouTube channel as well saying that they can't actually see him either. So yeah, very interesting.
Maybe he's just figured he doesn't need to race tonight.
Yeah. For those of you who are wondering as well, they're racing in Circuit Misano tonight. Circuit being designed in 1969, built from 1970 and 1972. It's basically located in Italy. It does a lot of world Superbike World Championships, Formula Renault, Blancpain Sprint DTM, a San Marino Motorcycle Grand Prix as well. It's not one of the most popular tracks we use, but it's I think it's got a great potential tonight, and it's definitely going to give us some interesting racing. I mean, Jammer, you've raced on this, you've practiced on this. It even says that your car's in the race director at the moment, which it's not on track anymore, obviously. But you know, this circuit, is it a favourite of yours, or is it one of those? I mean, I've not really raced on it much at all, to be honest.
I hadn't really raced on it up until the beginning of the week. It's not a track. It's very, very technical, I will say, especially in that third sector. There's a series of sweeping right-hand turns coming up to not the penultimate, coming up to the the last sector. So it's very easy to lose a lot of time in that final sector. So yeah, I mean, once you get the hang of it, it's a very nice track. It's enjoyable because of the technicality, but also it's very, very easy to slip a wheel on the curb. That will spin you around quite easily. And I think also what I've seen is some of the cars have been quite unsettled in that third sector as well. So I think we are going to see some issues tonight.
No, absolutely. It's nice to see him driving slightly differently. You can see they're all taking their time a little bit. Quite interesting to see Rigel right now. Rigel is currently sitting in third position. He's got a 145.3. One thing about Rigel, he's not been... Oh, and there goes Proctor, just spinning off on the last corner. Rigel's been quite... He's been sitting around the 9th, 10th positions when it comes to qualifying, but... Actually, tonight, I mean, with his experience and his knowledge on the tracks, he's quite a smooth character and quite a cool character when it comes to this kind of racing. So it's interesting to see him qualifying third at the moment. I mean, I'm sure that could change. I know that RWB Beer as well is currently in second position too. Now, RWB Beer, he's been absolutely praying for a wet race. So he's obviously done his practice. Just seeing that Rigel's now dropped into fifth.
We've got Audi in second now as well. So I think what we're already seeing is a bit of a mix-up of the normal grid, actually.
Yeah, and that's again, that's a great entertainment of a wet race coming to us. There we are now, RWB Beer with a 1 minute 45.2. We've got Don Jordan in first place at the moment. Audi in second with a 1 minute 45.1. He's almost 0.6 behind Don Jordan at the moment. And Rick Binnesley, shout out to him as well. He's currently qualified third. But I think, is that Rick Binnesley just coming out of the pits? Going for another run, maybe? I think that... Well, yeah, that is him coming out of the pits. That's quite are these pits likely to catch him out as well when it comes to penalties? Because that's what we always see in a race room, isn't it?
Sorry, mate, I didn't quite catch that. You broke up on me then.
Oh, sorry. I was just saying regarding the pits and penalties. Is that something likely to catch these guys out? Because we see in race room quite a lot the pits can catch people out, but tonight, is that something that might happen with these guys and penalties and that?
I mean, we haven't seen a lot of it in this league so far. I mean, there's certainly always potential for it. I think the thing which is going to be more difficult tonight is really the strategy. Obviously, it's a longer race, so the strategy most guys would be using for the previous 4 races is going to have changed. But now we've obviously got the added wet. The wet track as well, and we don't know whether that's going to be for the whole race or a portion of the race, so it'll be interesting to see how that pans out.
Excellent stuff, thank you, mate. So Oliver Curtin, currently in 12th position, he's on a fast lap right now, sporting the Bentley GT car, which we were talking about to Xerax earlier on, and it's quite interesting because a lot of people, as Xerax was saying, they don't really choose a Bentley because they think it's quite a heavy car, but once these cars are pretty much shells now when they go onto track. He's now absolutely flying on this lap. He's 1.3 seconds up on his previous time. This could be a really good lap we see from Curtin. He's got how many corners has he got left to do? I think he's got.
So he's in the middle. He's in the middle sector right now. So he'll be coming into this sweeping right-hander here. It was a tricky braking zone here, actually. It's very easy to lock up and run quite wide here. So he'll now be going on to what I call the back straight, and this is really coming into the 3rd sector, where I mentioned that quite tricky set of right-hand bends. So he'll be going through the first one. This one's flat going through here. Position yourself onto the left. This is also flat, and he'll be braking hard now into this bit. It's a 3rd gear corner, and then this down to either 1st or 2nd through this corner, and again very easy to lock up there and run wide. This corner you can very much cut the inside right onto the red strip, and then we'll be going to the final corner here. Again, quite easy to light the rear tyres up here, so they have to be careful and not run too wide, as well as you can see the sleeping policeman there. But looking very tidy, I must say.
It is tidy. It's P1. Oliver Curtin just put in.
There you go.
A P1. That's absolutely amazing. Shout out there. Well done. It looked quick on the boards, and it looked quick on the broadcasting, and that was absolutely fantastic.
It just looks very stable and confident as well.
And I guess that'll be down to these guys tuning their cars just right, getting it just how they wanted to for the wet, in case they had the wet. And also, I guess it's the traction as well, and things like that, which play into the cars quite a bit. Because if you've got the traction set up just perfectly, especially in these conditions, you'll be absolutely laughing.
Yeah, I mean, in dry conditions, you'll have the traction set to maybe 1 or 2, and probably would have whacked it up to about 6 or 7 now. So, yeah, they'll certainly need to have that traction on.
Excellent stuff. And we're just looking down the board as well. Another one which we haven't spoken about a lot today, but has definitely made an impact on this league, is Ryan Winch in the Audi RS GT. I think he's just trying to get someone out of the way there to do a lap time. He was on a quick lap time, but that's possibly put him off. He's currently 0.7 up from a 145.8, so that might not be exactly what he wants, but I think Pinners is giving him some flashing back, Jammer.
It's a tricky one when you got so many cars on grid. To try and get a clean qualifying lap, it's just so difficult. It's just really down to luck whether you've got the room to go through. And there's no reason, if someone in front of him is on a fast lap and he happens to be faster, there's no reason for that person to give up the position. So, he's having a bit of a moment there by the looks of it as well. He's clearly frustrated.
John D is about to have a moment as well himself. He's just put himself up into 8th position after a great lap time there. He's put a 144.7 in. And a shout out to Charger, which is quite rightfully pointed out that he is currently, you were in 14th, Charger. You are now in 16th. So get out there and put another lap time in, my son. Come on, you can do it. So with 4 minutes 20 seconds to go, a couple of yellow flags, a couple of personal bests by some drivers there. We've currently got Oliver Curtin. He's put in an absolute stellar lap. He's 0.6 up on Don Jordan. Helmet's currently 3rd position as well. Gianmarco Calzetta's in 4th, Marco Moyes in 5th, Kevin Cox in 6th, Francesco Jose Diaz in 7th, Rigel in 8th, John D 9th, and Carlos Bolanos in 10th at the moment. But that can change any second because these guys are absolutely going for it now. I'm not sure whether the track's drying out with the amount of cars on track or whether they're starting to find their feet a little bit. But I think we could see some stellar laps in the next, couple of minutes, I think.
Yeah, I think everyone would have gone back into the pits, regrouped, and come back out on track. And is it? I don't know whether the track's getting wetter. I don't know if that's a thing, but certainly, we might not be seeing quicker laps towards the end of this if the track's just getting wetter and wetter. But it'd be interesting to see how these wet weather tyres hold out, because certainly when I did a bit of practice, it has to be very, very wet for these tyres to be effective. Because we haven't obviously got an intermediate set of tyres as well. So if you stick the wet tyres on too early, from a dry track, you'll struggle, and the tyres will essentially just become cheese on a pizza.
Right, I got you. Just trying to see if we can find Robert De Vries tonight. He's sporting a slightly different livery than he was supposed to be with his normal one. I can't actually see him in game right now, though, because I wanted to talk a little bit about the livery he had on his car, but I can't see him, Jammer. I'm not too sure if you can see him up there or not.
I'm just having a look through. I can't see him in Discord. Oh yeah, he's definitely in Discord, so I don't know whether he's a bit further down the field. I can only see up until 23rd place at the moment. So
right. But yeah, so just a quick one. Once we find him, we'll have a look. But De Vries is basically he's got a special occasion livery for tonight. When we see it, it's an orange Lamborghini. It's to celebrate his king's birthday, and everything is coloured orange. And with Corona cancelling all other activities, he's decided to do that. So it is absolutely fantastic. And as the guys are saying on YouTube, they saw the livery it was being used earlier on, and it looks great. So we'll try and have a look for him in a bit. Oh, he's we can see it in the background there. Actually, I just need to find him, which is a bit embarrassing. There we go. So that's a shout out to De Vries and putting together that livery tonight, because he's obviously, it means quite a lot to him to celebrate that, and put a bit out with this sim racing which we can do while the coronavirus is keeping everyone indoors and safe.
I'm assuming he's from the Netherlands, is he? Am I right?
It looks like that? It, yeah.
Yep.
So yeah, absolutely fantastic. Now let's get to business quickly. We've got 56 seconds left, and the front has changed. So Oliver Curtin is still in first, Jordan's second, Helmet's third, Gianmarco Calzetta's fourth, and Marco is fifth. Now Kronas here in the Bentley again, he's 0.2 up on his current lap. That's not going to make a massive difference, but that will shift Marco and Gianmarco down a little bit if they don't go out as well. But I think Marco's in the pits now, so Moyes isn't going to be out for another lap. Rigel is absolutely flying. Rigel's almost a second up on this lap as well. That will put him in the contention for the front running as well. So this is one to follow here, Jammer. Again, it's the traffic, I guess, and people just playing ball and moving out of his way.
It certainly looks that way. I mean, he looks very good, I must say. It's interesting to see what he gets here. I'm quite excited. Oh, that's going to hurt him. That's really going to hurt that lap.
It has, yeah. He's pretty much lost all that time he made up, and that's taken him down to 9th position. So that was a shame. This young man, though, he's still up on his lap, so there's nothing to take away from Jonas at the moment. It was a shame that Eugenie just must have just lost it on that corner, and that obviously cost him the spin and cost Rigel the decent lap time there. So
easy to do on that last corner as well.
And it's a joy of a wet race, isn't it? It's a joy of that wet on the track. Rodders, hello.
Hello. Good evening, ladies.
Good evening, mate. How you doing?
I see it's a wet one, is it? In
It is a
quality?
wet one.
Very wet.
Yeah.
So we're looking. It looks like the final guys. Don Jordan, actually, sorry, he's out. Don Jordan's out on track. He's still 0.2 up on his final lap. This could be quite significant here. If he can pull this off and he can get this final lap in, that will put him in front of Calzetta. And
He's run very wide there.
He did run wide, didn't he?
He's bailed out of that.
That is a shame. That is a shame. So I think that is it, ladies and gents, boys and girls. Yeah. It's Curtin in P1 with a fantastic drive. Calzetta in P2, Don Jordan third, Helmet fourth, Burgess fifth, Moyes in sixth, Demi in seventh, Kevin Cox eighth, Rigel ninth, and Diaz in 10th. How you doing anyway, Rodders? How's why are you not racing tonight?
Just recovering from being unwell. That's it.
Gotcha.
I don't know if you heard when I raced the third one, which I thought I had recovered. Just a bit killed me. I was ended the next day, so a 2 hour one in ACC. I just thought the wiser of it. Plus, my wife told me I wasn't allowed to race, but that was just an aside. Yeah.
So, how are you feeling on the mend now, mate? Or
thanks. Yeah. I do know. I've been sitting going. It was obviously tempting to just go for it, but no, that's made the right choice. So. Glad to join you though in the box.
Decided against it as well.
Oh, did you, Jam? Well, I was going to ask. You just didn't.
I'm really tired, and VR with ACC is very tiring in itself.
It is very tiring. I do. That is part of it, to be sure.
And 2 hours, I just didn't have it in me. I don't think.
Cool. So. Up to a 5-minute session start tonight.
Yeah, and I guess at this stage, the main thing for these guys is they've just done their qualifying in the wet. They're about to start a 2-hour race in the dry, and I guess in their minds they must just be thinking. I mean, for the likes of your normal Jordan, Moyes, Kevin Cox especially. These guys must be wanting to get past the ones who have actually put in a stellar performance in the wet.
Mm-hmm. Well, I noticed Curtin was quick. Looked like he likes the wet, or that car likes the wet. So he was probably hoping it was going to start wet, but it's looking pretty clear out there.
Yeah. He looked really good independently, really good. So for the Moyes fans tonight, which I know you're all on YouTube cheering him on at the moment. Moyes needs to win this race tonight with Cox or Jordan being in 10th or worse. Cox and Jordan can win this race, but they need to be in front of each other, basically. The top 9 and in front of each other to win this race tonight. So it's pretty much between those two and Moyes putting in a stellar performance. So it's between 3 of them tonight. And
no speed demon, actually.
No, he's not turned up.
This is a shocker. No. Shocker. He had it. He had it all to play for.
It better not be a classic. I went for a wee sleep, and he just goes into hibernation now and again. Just needs to, I guess, for 3 days, and just wakes up.
I woke up for work this morning at about 5:30. Logged on, and he was on the chat with Xerax. The man never sleeps.
No. I think, sorry, just getting back to the race for a moment, I think it's worth pointing out that even though, most of free practice has been in the dry, I think having that wet qualifying session is going to completely have shifted all their bearings, and I think it'll be interesting to see, because of course all the braking points are very different in the wet, and it's very difficult to go from those kind of conditions into perfectly dry conditions. So I think it'll be interesting to see. I think everyone's going to be very, very tentative on this first lap.
It'll be a blessing if there's no offs on the first chicane, to be honest.
It's been pretty good through the league so far.
It's been absolutely stellar.
People's behaviour, so good to see.
But this is serious now. This is, there's two people in this race today which know if they've done the math now, they know they can get it. And I know that Jordan has done the math and he knows exactly what he needs to do tonight, because he was very good enough to give me those statistics and figures before the race started. So he's obviously one of these ones. He knows what he has to do, and he knows that this start is absolutely crucial, and it's crucial he gets past Curtin and Calzetta, because we've seen in previous races he's a lot faster than them, especially in the dry. So yeah,
difficult pressure though, I must say, to obviously not really be in contention to now be in the position where you could take the league win. I wonder how that will be playing on their minds now, because obviously they'll want to get past the guys. I'm just wondering if they're going to take chances they wouldn't necessarily have taken before, and whether that will cause an issue.
I actually had just almost slipped my mind. This is a 2-hour one tonight, so it's a different undertaking to the standard hour, and as you say, especially with what they've got in the line. I doubt a sensible strategies are kind of going to probably be common. There's not really anything too short term you can do in this race, because it'll still be one pit stop, I'd guess. It used to be the mandatory in the hour, but we've got mandatory in the 2. So I've not done practice on it, but I'm going to guess that's still a one stopper.
Yeah, it's very likely to be. Yeah.
Just seeing them start now. They're coming around the bend. Oliver Curtin in P1 with Gianmarco Calzetta next to him. He's backing them up a little bit. Jordan is almost going to be poised to go, and they're off. They're going, and Calzetta's gotten a great start, and Jordan's now coming up on the inside as well to Curtin. And is he going to go for it? Is he going to make the move? He has made the move into second place. Helmet again behind Curtin now. And Jordan's now just got to do a job and keep it clean and get past Calzetta at the right time. Looks like it's been an absolutely great start from the back as well, to be honest. Jammer clean.
Yeah, I think it's just worth noting that the first few corners everyone has been instructed to stay single file, so I don't think you're going to see too many passes at the moment. That'll start to open up over the course of the lap.
Brothers. Pretty clean start, wasn't it?
Yeah, I could see it looked good. I mean, the guys put a whole load of new drivers come in really quickly for us, which is something we're usually quite careful about that, because it helps keep things running tidily. But the guys done a stellar job pre-league to really practice a lot, instruct a lot, advise a lot, and I think it's paid dividends. And credit to all the drivers, they've done it at the end of the day, but also to the sort of the setup and the organising. It's been really good.
Yeah, it has been a fantastic league to watch, actually, and gutting that I haven't been able to be part of it, because I suppose I didn't realise how amazing and big it was going to be until watching the first stream and going, wow, that works really well.
Hey, it felt touch and go for a bit. As Kerry, when you seen the kind of, it's like, I guess it's like a lot of things. You just see the end result, but you don't see the rough edges, kind of getting everything ready for it. But no, it was. I think everyone got a surprise at the number of people that appeared, and it just filled up. Yeah.
So looking down the pack, we've currently got a Gianmarco. He's actually. Giving himself a nice little gap from Don Jordan at the moment. Now, whether that's Jordan just holding back a little bit, it's a 2-hour race. It's not like they have to do any crazy stunts or moves at the moment, and they need to manage their tyres, manage their pace, and manage their fuel through the first quarter of the race. So Jordan's in P2, Oliver Curtin is in P3, and he's managing that quite well. And he's got Helmet behind him as well. Helmet in the GTR tonight, which is lovely to see that car on track and in such a dominating position at the moment. Let's not forget, Moyes is in 5th place, and he is going to be sitting there minding his own business and making his own time as well. Now, there's a bit of a gap forming behind these guys in the top 5, and it looks like that's Kevin Cox just managed to clear Jonas there.
Yeah.
So Kevin Cox has gotten past Jonas, which has kind of freed him up. He's going to be a lot quicker now. And from there, you've got Jonas in 7th, Gree in 8th, Carlos Bolanos 9th, our trackmaster Rigel now comfortably in a position we see him pretty much starting in every single race of this league. And you can guarantee he's going to be up there 5th, 4th, maybe even in the podium position tonight. It would be great to see him in the podium position. Rods, you've raced quite a lot of Rigel. Is it just been not Rigel's luck in this league? Because he, as he said the other day, 4th seems to be his chosen place right now.
No, I don't think. I think not at all. I mean, there is an aspect of this game, is still relatively new compared to a lot of sims I've played. It's quite early days, so a lot of us are still learning a lot about it. But I mean, the part of it is just, you see how tight the qualifying times have been. And I recall the last race I was in 1 second between 1st to 18th place. There's very little in it. There's been an influx of really quick people. Some folk we've known before, like Kevin, that we knew was right up there. So I found with qualifying, it can honestly just be the difference between one wee bit extra practice, one wee better corner that you've noticed can make the difference between 15th and 5th place in the grid. And then from there, he's obviously done great in the races. I think he's been steady and solid. So no, it's just a tough. It's one of the toughest sort of competitions we've had, most competitive. Any mistake, you've lost in the top 10, you're losing 5 to 10 places almost immediately.
I think that's the one thing I've noticed about ACC. Is it's very different to anything we've raced before, and certainly the driving style, and for me, my driving style is a bit gung-ho, which doesn't really work in this. You have to have a bit of finesse, and I think that's caught a few people out, myself included.
Yeah, I'm just having a quick look at the race while you guys were having a quick conversation about Rigel. It looks like Cos had an off somewhere, and he's been lapped already by all the cars. So obviously lap 3, I think, and he's obviously been lapped. Looks like Ryan Winch as well. Just noticed he's out of position. He's got some damage to the front of his car as well. So I'm not too sure if the Winch family watching on YouTube can identify what happened there, but it's a big shame for him because I think he was. It looks like Charger's having a bit of a. Charger and Sean and these guys here, Sean Wright, John Hall, Charger and Gareth, they're having an absolutely epic race right now. And this is a race for 25th, which is really great to see. And it takes on board what you guys say. Even though it's 25th, it's 25th out of 40 cars plus. So that's pretty much mid-pack.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think, to say what Rodders was saying is, you could have been, normally qualifying in the top 10, but, that would be in the 20s with such a big pack. So interesting how that dynamic works. And sorry, I just had an update from YouTube, and it looks like Speedmon had the intention of doing the iRacing 24-hour race, but had some wheel issues. So he's not doing any racing tonight by the looks of it.
Oh, it's a shame.
24 hours.
It would be good fun. I think a lot of people would like to maybe try that sometime soon. I think there was an opportunity for it. I'm a wee bit out of the loop on it, but it's maybe been changed to a 12-hour sort of invitational race coming up with somebody.
That'd be great. I'm up for it. I'm up for it. Let's do 48 hours. Let's just do it.
Hey, we've got our first 6-hour race next week, so first endurance race in ACC. So you might talk about it a bit more later, but certainly that's going to be our wee feeler. And the plan, I must always was we'd like to push it a bit more, but we'll kind of see what's sensible and what people want to do. But I could see a 12-hour on the horizon, certainly, potentially.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I'm still scared about Pinner's falling asleep on me when I try and do a driver swap. So we're just looking down the pack as well. We've got a bit of a split here between Audi and Audi and Mad Al and Etienne. It looks like these guys. This is a race for 18th position as well. So there's some great racing going on track at the moment, and it's lovely to see the track starting to spread out a bit, but still packs of cars racing each other. You've got Etienne, Mad Al, Baraclow, Dave Crew, Fabio, all in this chain. So there's pretty much six cars racing for one position in the middle of the pack, and they're all racing pretty hard. And there's an hour and 51 minutes to go, but anything could happen. Rod, is there a likelihood we're going to get rain, do you think? Or?
Well, again, still learning, excuse me, about the weather and how it develops and how it can change. But I mean, it looks really good just now. Now, I know there's the sort of randomness and the changeability chance, but I believe technically it's possible. It doesn't really look much like it could at the moment, but I guess see if it starts to darken potentially.
There's quite a big time progression for this race, isn't there? So I think.
Oh gosh, that's right. Yeah.
So I think things can change rather quickly. So I do think there's a real chance we're gonna see some wet weather, which I think will make it very, very difficult. Certainly strategy wise, it's more or less impossible to really, if it does rain, it's just going to be a matter of luck and being in the right place at the right time. I know most people would have got their wet setup sorted so they can flick over to it if needed, but if the rain comes after the first pit stop window, that's going to make things very tricky because people would have already pitted, they would have put a lot of fuel in the cars already, and potential if you get it wrong on losing out on a lot of places.
Certainly. Just noticing you've got Calzetta's definitely putting out a good gap, then you've got second and third fighting, Curtin and Jordan and Helmet. Moyes are having a hell of a scrap.
Yeah, absolutely. We've been busy looking at the rear, the guys at the rear, but yeah, Curtin wants his position back, doesn't he? He's absolutely glued to Jordan, which is fantastic to see. He's done his homework on this track. Because
Rigel's got 2 hungry Bentleys right behind them as well, by the looks. Just having a quick scan down.
Yeah, absolutely. So for those of you who are joining in right now, Oliver Curtin, the one you're seeing right behind Jordan, he qualified in P1. It was a wet qualifying. He did an absolutely fantastic qualifying, and unfortunately he got taken by Jordan and Calzetta at the start, but he's definitely hungry for it now. He wants that position back. I suppose if you were Jordan and you were guys in front, are you going to try and play that long race to see how long you can stay out until you have to pit, so you don't get caught out by anything?
I think you've got to play the long game, because if you mess your tyres up at this stage, it's going to cause you issues later in the race. And by the time the pit stop windows come along, I've seen guys losing almost 3 seconds a lap when the tyres go off. So if you go off your tyres earlier than you should, it's going to cause an issue for some of these guys. So they need to play the long game. They need to relax. They need to settle.
I heard Napoleon, and I believe maybe another person, but also saying about a huge loss of pace for some reason at the end of stints in this track. Uncertain if it's a setup issue or something like that, but that's been the word on the street or word in the paddock that I heard during the week.
Yeah, is it me, or does it look like Helmet's struggling a little bit with that car, or is it just where I'm looking there? It just looks like Moyes has got
a wee bit quiet there.
I was going to say, does it look like Helmet's just struggling that little bit more in that car against Moyes, which is following him?
Well, I'll give you some insight. I was driving the GTR, and it's a tricky car to drive. It's got a very, very loose end, and it does tend to get quite hot with the tyres as well. I did notice that in all the other races as well, so it's possible that he's struggling with tyre temperatures at the moment.
In front, I think that was Curtin going in Jordan. Just off camera.
Yeah, that was. Curtin did take Jordan. He did get him. Wow. That's,
slide. Did you see that there? So I'm not sure if we're on the same camera, but Curtin was a big slide into that bend, trying to just catch it after the overtake.
It's fantastic, isn't it? Great racing there. Absolutely fantastic racing by these two. Lads, slow down. You've got an hour and 47 minutes to go.
No, speed up.
We got some great racing here. We got Curtin and Jordan for P2 and Helmet and Moyes for P4. They got all to play with, all to play for. And as you said, behind you as well, it's great to see that I think Rigel is starting to come close and challenge Cox as well. So that's not working out for Cox too well.
Ooh. Well, I've just got 4.5 seconds with my timings at the moment. Rigel behind Cox.
Yeah, that's right. And De Vries is obviously trying to make a bit of a gap for everyone to get past. Is another one which is a lap car, which is a shame. Obviously celebrating his King's celebrating his King's. Is it a birthday, Jammer? I can't remember it.
Yes, I think it was the King's birthday, wasn't it? And you were mentioning that because of lockdown, no one can go out and celebrate, so he thought he'd stick on the orange livery.
Which is awesome.
Either that or he's a massive Max Verstappen fan.
So is Cox? Is that Helmet? No, that's not. I thought that was Helmet 2 in front. It's 3 in front.
No, it's because Moyes has taken Helmet. Moyes has gotten past Helmet, and now it looks like Helmet must have had a slip up. Yeah.
So Helmet's catching up.
Yeah, Helmet's had a 2 point. He's 2.3 seconds down on his lap. So he's obviously had a bit of an off, and that's put Moyes in front of him. And now, although I say that's put Moyes in front of him, who's that now? He's got Carlos Balanas challenging him.
Yeah, saying you're right. I think it's just he had a wee bit of a wobble or something.
Yeah, and again, it's. I'd say at this point of the race, it's not that much of a big deal. You can recover yourself from it as long as it's not too much of a big one, and then your race is pretty much toast, as you were saying, Rods. If you go past that, Balanas is going on the inside, and his Helmet closing the door. No, that's fantastic racing, absolutely fantastic racing, and Balanas is taking every bit of gap he's got. It looks like Helmet is in big trouble here. It looks like this is Balanas' chance to get in front. And it's all going to be on who's late breakers, and he's got it. He's got him.
Yeah, there wasn't much you could do about that, was there?
No, it's fantastic racing and fair racing between both of them, though. To be honest,
I think Helmet's certainly been playing the long game. You know, he was saying to me that he really wants it to rain. I think he's one of these that works well in the rain. The car works well in the rain actually as well. So he might just be biding his time, hoping for a wet track to come out at some point.
This guy Calzetta is absolutely dominating. He's got 6.5, 7 second lead.
I wish I did a chance to check more if there are any strategy options, something that could explain why he's pulling away so much, other than he's just got great pace in the dry year. It's just hard to tell.
I don't think I think with race room you could probably get away with either doing one stop and going longer, or doing a 2-stop. I don't think it works quite the same in ACC, does it? I don't think you can benefit.
I'm sure they can run an hour, no problem.
Yeah. I think you're going to see a lot of people pitting around the 60-minute mark. So, I don't know. Maybe he just feels really good in that car, and it's just working for him. He doesn't feel like he needs to hold back. He feels good on the tyres. So, I don't really think there's a strategy involved in that. He might just feel really good.
Well, I think when you refuel in this game, it does it at the same time as the tyres, so there's potential for some fuel strategy there. They could be light in the first stint. Not sure what advantage that would convey, because it normally fits everything into the 30 seconds when you stop. But just speculating, because it's surprising he's got that much. He's got great pace skills, but I'm surprised that it's that wide this early in the race.
I'm just homed in on the battle for 13th as well at the moment. Vinicius Etier and Audi, they're absolutely slogging it out. And Audi's been really happy with his performances, hasn't he? He's really been pleased with where he's come, and I think this is a big confidence booster for him at the moment.
Scott Free, Eugene, and Dave Crewin, 16th to 18th, they've been close for a while. I was spot checking them earlier. So they're another wee group to keep up.
Oh, yeah, yeah, they are, aren't they? That's great. And Scott, I believe, is the only BMW I've seen on the, or is Eugenie? I think he's got.
I think there's two of them. There's at least two, not many.
There is.
It's not a bad car actually. I tested it and considered it. Yeah, it's quite nice.
Yeah, I was just looking there. Of course it is, because Scott Free and Eugenie are racing each other at the moment, and they're both in a BMW. But Eugenie's just gone in the pits. He's just gone to have a pit. So that's interesting. That's an early pit stop. I'm not too sure whether that's for damage or what, or if they've got any rain showing. I mean, the skies have darkened around the track. It has gotten darker, so I'm wondering if they've got any specs on their dashboards at all. I'm not sure if we're going to see it from inside, but
well, I mean, if you look at the cloud cover, it's basically really overcast now.
Totally changed,
yeah.
Down again, 28th to 31st. Oh, that was close. A good wee scrap there. Another area to watch. It's just so hard with so many cars, so I'm just having a quick spot check.
Just we're currently on board with Charger and Isaacs on 25th. These guys seem to be having a nice little scrap at the moment. Isaacs in the Porsche and Charger on the Lexus.
Oh, Jordan just get past Curtin there. Sorry. So
you're a spot checker
tonight. Hell of an overtake.
Right, let's just go to the front. Yeah, that's right. So there we are. Jordan's done it again. He's gotten past Oliver Curtin again. How did the overtake go, Rods?
I literally changed it just as it was occurring. I was still working out what I was seeing. He just outbraked him nicely. He came into the a few left-hander, tight left-hander, a bit further back, and just held it tight, pulled away.
The interesting thing here is Moyes has caught up with these two as well. So whether that scrapping's given Moyes the opportunity to catch up, but no, he's only almost under a second behind these two now. So it'll be interesting to see what Curtin can do, and it'll be interesting to see what Moyes can do, and if he can capitalise on these two scrapping.
It's getting very dark indeed, isn't it?
Oh.
It's going to happen. We want rain.
I'll get the thunder noise sample ready. Just a second.
It's going to happen. I'm doing the rain dance. I can smell the rain now.
I'm telling you now, if Curtin doesn't get in the top 3 tonight, he's getting race through for match from me. I think he's done absolutely fantastic already.
Well, it's only 21 minutes in. Yeah, he's brilliant, mate. He's
well, I mean, I just think he's smashed the qualifying, and he's putting up such a great fight and great entertainment so far.
In fact, if we're wanting rain, we should do it like a true commentator and just say there's no way it's going to rain. It's just no way.
Well, I've said to myself, I'm not going to do any commentator's curse after what happened to you in the race the other night, Rodders.
Oh, that was some timing.
Honestly, the timing was just outrageous. It's getting dark, and you can really see that those clouds are closed in now, and I think that's going to affect track temperature as well, isn't it?
Definitely. Pressures. The big thing with ACC is pressures, and that really, as soon as you're out that optimal zone, you notice it. So
it comes very slowly.
It's worth saying that in the back of this scrap as well, Helmet's now under pressure again. It looks like he's in front of Cox.
He's still holding on.
What has happened here? There is an incident. He was really close. He was right. He had Cox right on his bumper. So whether is that Cox
slowing down? Yeah.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah, definitely.
And was that Helmet giving a cheeky fash to Cox as well as he was catching up with him?
It might have been saying thanks. It's hard to tell. I didn't see the accident, so I'm not sure if it was one of those ones that's understandable. There might be an angry word at the time.
Absolutely.
A thump.
Doesn't look like there's any real damage though, does there?
Doesn't, but you never know.
Will we decrease in temperature? I mean, I'm looking at the track temperature now. It's 25 degrees. We'll keep an eye on that track temperature actually, which I've got the stats
that
here.
can be an advantage to a point. Just again, it depends on pressures. If people have got the pressures spot on for the previous temperature, then they could start to struggle. But quite quick. Oh, somebody off there.
Is there?
Just the helmet and that just passed them. No, sorry.
Do you know what? That's
Cox and helmet.
That's not Calzetta. I was going to say Calzetta's absolutely smashing. We'll just
it Charger? Would you him in the commentary box and? You know. Sorry, Charger.
No comment. I tell you what, Curtin was contending with Jordan, but he's off.
Big moment there.
Guys, I feel so bad at his Charger.
Oh no!
He'll be. Charger's just been sick, so that's why he pulled over.
He's been sick.
We've just had an update from YouTube, so sorry to hear that, Charger. It's never good. I'm not too sure why that is or what that's about, but yeah.
Oh gosh.
All win, don't say that. So Curtin is under pressure from Moyes now and Bolanos. So he was obviously contending with Jordan, but it's great to see these guys. I mean, the last two races I've commentated on, Jordan's never had this kind of pressure, and neither's Moyes. So to have him in between this bunch right now, the fight for second place, it's absolutely fantastic, and it's great to watch, to be honest. I can imagine Moyes will be looking for an overtake at any point now.
Yeah, I mean, like I said earlier, they've got that added pressure of knowing that they might have a chance of swagging, the win on this. So I think that'll, be boiling away in their heads.
Come on, Team Moyes, let's continue to hear it. And that track temperature's dropping. It's dropping. So I think we're in for a little treat here because track temperature's dropping. Tyres are going to.
Sorry, helmet and. Cox just had another wee bump and helmet almost spun. Just managed to hold it. No. Oh, they're fighting hard, the two of them.
Right.
I like
keep an eye on them.
We're watching Jordan and Jordan Curtin and Moyes right now. These guys are fighting quite hard as well for second, third, and fourth. To be honest, we're just looking down. Helmet is close, isn't he? So this is a fight right now between Helmet and is that Cox? Yeah, that is Cox. Let's look on the rear wing of as Cox is gaining. He's gaining, but he's just not quick enough. So
the GTR really struggles when you lose.
The traction. Cox has got. Cox. The thing is Cox is going for an open door. And he's going to go for it. He just needs to make sure Helmet doesn't cut him off.
He always left it wide open there.
And that's rain on the track, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes, there we go.
Have got rain.
Hey. That's a shame. That's a real shame for the drivers. I feel for them. It's hard enough as it is, and they really don't need this.
It's
awful, Rod.
It's worth pointing out, and what I was mentioning earlier is you're not going to see anyone coming in for wet tyres anytime soon because, like I said, there is no intermediate tyre, so they have to wait until the track is very wet. Otherwise, you're going to end up with very, very hot tyres, and you'll find that the slicks are actually faster in these conditions than the full wets.
I tell you what, Helmet is not letting Cox go at all. These two are absolutely battling it out. It's like seventh place is theirs to fight with. I mean, and Cox doesn't want this right now because Cox is obviously fighting for a championship lead. He's slowly seeing it go lap after lap as he's fighting with Helmet, which he does not want.
Yeah,
but big deal to Helmet.
Cox is just one of the quickest guys I've raced with, but seen in him so far here, he's not quite seemed to have the pace that he needs. But I don't know what he's like in the wet. Although I would hazard, I guess, that GTR will do better in the wet than the NSX.
Just seeing Jordan's going for an overtake on Curtin right now. He's going around the outside of a corner and he's just made it. Curtin has had to give that by, or is that Curtin going for the overtake on Jordan? No, it was Curtin had gained second place. He'd remade that, and Jordan's gotten it back from him. So, and now that's given Moyes the position. I think these guys are starting to already struggle on track with the change in temperatures and change in track condition. And Moyes and Bolanos, they could be behind all over Curtin any minute. It looks like Moyes. He's just ready to pounce at any point. To be honest, that Bentley seems to be totally different to how it was in qualifying right now with the rain.
Yeah, it's really bunched up.
Looking down the field as well, another one to watch by the looks of things is Diaz and Binnisley. Is that Diaz and Binnisley? Looks like that could be Ryan Winch, actually. Is he being lapped? I think he is being lapped. He's being lapped and just taken that guy off. Now,
what happened? I missed that. I'm watching them, I thought.
Winch just got a little bit too late on the braking behind Diaz, and I wonder if that'll be Winch. I wonder if that's Winch's day, to be honest, looking at him slowing right down.
Yeah, that wasn't brilliant, I don't think. No,
currently in 36th place, and Diaz has gone off as well. Jammer, I mean, these guys are going to have to start thinking about
rain's getting heavier.
Yeah.
Seen it getting heavier, yeah.
Rain's getting heavier. There's 10% rain, 10% wetness. I'm taking it that 10% wetness is how wet the track is right now.
Oh, right, you can see that.
Statistics are giving me. Yeah, I can see how heavy the rain is and how wet the track is.
Yeah, it's certainly projected for the next 5 minutes to rain, if I'm reading this right.
Yeah,
track time's down.
Track temperature is down. It's down to 23 degrees now. Sorry, Jammer.
No, it's fine. I was just going to say it's inevitably going to be getting quite slippy, but again, I just don't think the track's wet enough to really be coming into the pits for wets yet.
Yeah, I'm not seeing any spray yet.
The rain is getting heavier. I have had this confirmed. The rain is starting to get heavier. They're expecting 20-30% rain in the next 5 minutes. And the track is still reporting at 10% wet. So Jordan, Curtin and Moyes are still fighting.
Look like they've got good grip. I'm not seeing any sign of them struggling.
I think as long as they can keep the heat in those dry tyres, I think they'll be all right for now. I think you'll start to see a little dry line forming as well. So you can already sort of see it on that straight there with the dry line. So as long as that dry line stays there, they should be all right for now.
Yeah.
Just giving a little shout out to Moyes' fan club on the YouTube chat. Seems there's a few people really rooting for him this evening. So good to see you. Thanks for coming. We've got 30 people watching the stream now as well, which is obviously a good turnout. So hello everyone, and thanks for joining us.
Looks like that's De Vries, which is just unfortunately spun off the track again. So really the closest battles we've got at the moment, we've got a battle for second position, and Curtin is still going for it. He's not letting this one go at all. And Jordan's got a lot of work to do. Moving down the field as well, it looks like Cox has got him past helmet.
Cutton's out wide. It's just managed to hold it, but keep Moyes off.
Yeah, it looks like he has held it.
It's getting a bit squirrely out there by the looks of it.
It is. I mean, it's still reporting as 10% wet on the track. Whether that actually is playing tunes, I mean, their tyres are going to be getting colder as well right now. So it is just. I suppose it's really skill at this stage, isn't it? And practice. I mean, some of these guys have practiced this for a long time, and some people may not even practice wet on this track, to be honest.
I think the wets come at a good time though, because I think a lot of people were worried about it coming after the first stint, after that first set of pit stops. So you see someone having a moment there, yeah.
Yeah, that is given Curtin. Curtin's got to be really careful here. But then Moyes has taken advantage. I think Moyes has actually gone on the inside, and he's gone on the inside, and he'll have the inside line on this next.
Oh, take it easy, lads. This is exciting, but keep it clean. Just scared somebody locks up. Or...
That's giving Curtin. Curtin might have the traction coming out of here, but Moyes has just got that protected and held off. But Curtin almost went for that small gap.
They need to adjust their traction and ABS.
Yeah,
I would imagine by now before they start sliding.
Looking on the rear wing of Jordan, that's Moyes in P3 and Oliver Curtin P4. And Curtin right now, if he gets some good traction out of these next few corners and that power of that Bentley, he can really challenge again for that position he's lost. But Jordan's gone wide. Jordan's gone wide, and that's going to give Moyes a challenge again. This is absolutely fantastic. And Moyes is going into the pits. Moyes is going into the pits. The track has got on the track dampness has increased now at 20%. So maybe that's a good move. Maybe that's not a good move. But we've got to mention Calzetta. He's also gone in the pits. So Jordan is now leading the race. It's just not updated yet on the timings. But Calzetta.
Mezster's in the pits just now. I'm just having a quick look, see who's going in. There's more and more coming.
Fantastic. If you can keep us updated there, Rodders, that'd be amazing. Is it the right time? Is it not?
Calzetta, Bolano.
I mean, Jordan's rear end just came right out on that corner. He's struggling.
Just went off the wall there, coming on the main straight. He'll wish he went in the pits.
It's time, isn't it?
I'd say there's about a third of the drivers coming in, just looking down, instead of shouting them all out. I guess next lap we're going to see even more.
It's a shame we can't get any tyre data really, because then we could have a much better idea of how everyone's looking. But I think we're going to see people coming in now.
So with the time, I forgot the time multiplication. I think it's 6 times. I'm guessing it's not just getting dark because of the cloud. We're moving into night time.
Yeah.
Race started at 5. Yes, it's basically this is going to. How far out? Not good. We're 35 minutes in.
We're 35.
Oof! I've got a good luck, lads. Jesus.
Jordan's in and Curtin's in as well. Now we got to do it, haven't we? We got to see where is Calzetta on the track. Calzetta's currently in 10th position. Is that some scrapes on his bumper and some scuffs? Has Calzetta had a bit of an off? It would appear he might do. Charger, how you doing?
Hello.
Hello.
We are sorry to see you off for a race, mate. I'm sorry to hear that you got a sickness.
Something not right with that game tonight. It's just made me feel right. Can you see it on the stream?
Was it motion sickness? Was it just game sickness?
Going round a corner and my eyes are focusing on the corner and then it just step. I don't know whether it was that, but I just, you when you have that overwhelming feeling, you're sick.
Aye, it's horrible. Yeah.
I don't know whether it's a time. Yeah, I don't know whether it's a time progression's causing it to stutter every now and again, but I lost about 20-25 frames for some reason. Even in the dry, not just the rain. It's a bit
worth
weird.
Mentioning that's Calzetta just gone past the pits. We're just seeing where Jordan, Isaacs and Rowlands. Jordan will not want those guys like that. This is absolutely
helmet's still out, and I think he's in first. So either he can handle this or he's made a mistake. I would imagine everyone else been in, but I'll be interested to see how that works out for helmet.
Yeah, that will be interesting. So Jordan's come out of 8th, come out 8th. That did you see that, Jammer, coming out of the pits for Jordan?
Yeah,
he had a load of lap cars all around him coming out of the pits as well.
You don't want that.
That was absolutely amazing. We're just looking at Helmet now, and we're seeing he's got a 5-second gap. I mean, how's that car looking? It's looking all right at the moment. Everyone else is going off the track, but Helmet's looking pretty sound as they're moving into night now.
It looks like he knows how to drive in the wet, to be honest, and that's, he's obviously put some time into it. He's slowing down, he's on the throttle a bit less, without, So yeah, he's just some prep, but that looks damn wet now, man.
Yeah.
Sam just started another lap.
He has just started another lap.
Well, I can see his last lap was a 1:48, so it'd be interesting to see how that compares to the guys who've already pitted for the wet tyres.
Audi's still out as well, in second place, and so is Rick Binnesley. Mad Al in fourth place too.
So, could they be hoping that it doesn't last too long?
Possibly.
And they can then just do the normal single pit stop?
Possibly, but I'm telling you now, it's going to be wet for a while.
Yeah, it looks like, doesn't it?
Yeah, unless the GTRs are just better in the wet, because Audi's in the GTR as well. Mad Al is in the Aston, so I'm not too sure how it's going to be for him. But they all seem quite far. Calzetta's just actually taken Mad Al and is in third place. So
can you see what lap has Don Jordan done a lap on wet yet? See what the comparative lap times.
Don Jordan hasn't done a lap yet. Gio Marco Calzetta's lap was 1 minute 46.665, and he's lapping 2 seconds faster than Helmet in first at the moment. We're just waiting for Jordan's lap.
Right, so Helmet needs a rain. So I was watching Helmet, they almost lost it. He's got to come in.
Yeah.
He's coming in.
I mean, that track's very wet now. He's going to have to switch now, isn't he?
Yeah, I think that might have lost him time, unfortunately. Was you seeing the lap times there? That's
right. So Marco Moyes, he's lapping in 1:53.5. Carlos Bolanos 1:46.2. So, and we're still waiting for Mr. Jordan at the moment. He's almost coming up to a lap. So, but he's in traffic. He's got Scott Free in front of him at the moment, and Sam in front of him after that. But he's just passing. No, he's not passing Scott Free. He's gonna have to do it the hard way. But that'll be hurting Jordan for sure in his race. 1:46.1. So he's quick. He's very quick.
Just looking at the YouTube chat, I see Cos mention that he started on wet tyres for some reason.
Oh, guys.
Within half a lap, they were red. So I think that's possibly what his issue was when we saw him stopped. I think his tyres had exploded by that point. Pre-race planning, guys.
So let's quickly talk about the championship lead and where it is at the moment. Jordan doesn't really need to fight at all. He's going to, but right now where he is, he's in third position. Kevin Cox is in 11th. He's pretty much got this in the bag as long as he keeps his head down for the next hour and 18 minutes. The rest of it is it's all his work. I'm just seeing his helmet.
Helmet's got a stop and go, if I'm reading this right.
No, you are.
SG30 is that stop and go?
Stop go penalty.
Yeah.
Oh man,
that's not what you wanted to see.
It's difficult, to get that pit entry right, especially where it's got dark now as well. I think that causes an issue. I think the guys are going to be getting tired now. It's very difficult to see when it's night time, especially when you've got rain as well. So I think that might be a factor.
Right. It's hard following anybody right now, to be honest. It's trying to find the gaps in and the gaps in the close racing, which are actually racing for position and not starting to let the lap ones through.
Is that rain getting lighter, or am I just imagining it?
Well, I did think that earlier in the daytime, but then I think certain camera angles it looks lighter when it actually isn't.
It's probably just darker. I can't see it.
No, it's still showing as 30% on 30% wet on track and 30% rain in the air. So track temperature at 22 degrees now. Just on board with Jody Barraplow at the moment, which is having a pretty solid race. Gareth Rowland's in 24th behind, and Resident FX, which has said not to stream him or give him the commentator's curse. So, lads, it's all yours. I thought you were going to do better then. I thought you.
Sorry, I'll admit I was half listening.
Sorry, I was
looking at. I just
saw reading YouTube comments.
So Scott Free and Mad Al still haven't pitted. Is that? Can you confirm that? I think that's.
Let's have a look. Yes, I can confirm that. He hasn't pitted because he's still putting in 1 minute 48.5s, and Calzetta's right behind him now. So Mad Al, I'm not too sure. I'm not too sure if it's even worth it here because Calzetta will just. Al's going into the pits now. So that frees Calzetta up, and Don Jordan's. Where is Don Jordan? He's down the main straight as well. So he's got Calzetta in his eyesight. Just one to mention as well. Scott Free's in 4th, so he hasn't pitted either. Which means that he's got Moyes and Curtin, which is going to be coming up on him like an absolute torpedo. Rigel in 8th position as well.
If he can go 15 more minutes, he can just do his normal pit stop, and assuming it doesn't change conditions again, that could be his last change of tyres. Certainly gives him one up on the folk that changed, but again, I just don't see that being overall an advantage at the moment.
I mean,
he's losing so much time.
I'm going to ask you, Rodders, because you've organised a load of these in the past. Is there a point and time? We're watching Scott Free at the moment. He's obviously not on the wets, and he's a lot slower. Is there a time where that deems it unsafe to the cars which are now on the wets and trying to get past him?
I would say, if something happened, then it would probably be taken into account. We have in previous games where there's been strategies to say just run your tyres to the absolute wire is the best strategy, but you are a liability on track, and it must admit it tends to come down to the person that's driving the car, if they can handle that, the car being like that. So at the end of the day, you need to be able to control your car. If you can't, you shouldn't be driving. So that goes for whatever amount of wear on your tyres you've got, or what conditions wise. So as long as they can handle their car enough that they're not a danger on track, it's acceptable.
Great.
But it's a good point though. So, you could have a rule whereby essentially it's like.
It'll be interesting to see how long these wet tyres last for, especially if we do stay with the wet track for the rest of the race, because they do get very hot. So are we going to see a second round of pit stops for the guys who've already changed to wet? So I would assume so.
Yeah. Charger, how was qualifying?
Qualifying, I quite enjoyed it actually. I did okay in the rain. I was quite surprised I got a decent. I heard you say put some more laps in. I got up to about 13th, and I thought, I'm not too bad in the rain, really. And I wasn't really pushing it. I was taking it steady because I didn't want to spin it. But I wasn't that quick in the draw.
Sorry, just. If I'm reading this right, and just to confirm my telemetry's okay, Don Jordan's under 3 seconds behind Calzetta now.
You are absolutely right, yes.
And that's it. So somehow that's a lot of time gained. Big gap to Curtin after that, but
yeah. So Calzetta had a lot of traffic to get by. I don't know whether Jordan's had it easier. We were following Calzetta. He's had a couple of close happy back end sessions as well. So he's lost the back end a few times and managed to save it. So, yeah, we're just on board with Jordan now. And, the gap is closing. So whether Jordan's just a little bit more confident. Bearing in mind, Calzetta did qualify third. Yeah, absolutely.
Yep. Nah, there we go. You're right, he is catching. Shrinking and shrinking. Nice one to watch. See what else other fights are going on.
Definitely. I say that just as Jordan goes wide. So so yeah, Calzetta currently in P1, Jordan in P2. Oliver Curtin. We haven't talked a lot about Oliver Curtin, which is just racing his own race at the moment in P3. Rodders, you've got something?
I just Rigel and Cox are very close. They're fighting just through some traffic just now.
They are, aren't they? That's fantastic. And that'll be another challenge for Cox, which he probably doesn't want, but he's going to have to deal with.
So I would also say now that Scott Free's definitely going to just go sod it. I'm staying out and trying to keep in a one-stopper because he's still out on track. We'll find out if that was worth it, I guess, but I wouldn't bet on it.
Yeah.
Good on you, Scott. Give it a try. It's good to see it. Somebody's trying it out. It looks he's still fairly solid. He's a wee bit slidey in the rear going into the bends, but certainly looks acceptable.
I mean, he's lapping. He's doing a good. He's about 4.5 seconds behind on the cars around him. So he's obviously behind on the pace. But as you said, if it can work out for him, he's probably hoping that it's going to slowly die off. But I'm telling you now, I don't think it is.
Well, what's our pit stop in this game? About 45 to 50 seconds total lost. That sound about right?
Yeah, it's fairly short.
So that's what
actually. Yeah,
he can't afford to lose that amount. That's the basic equation.
It's like a little off from Greed to me.
I mean, Scott's way off the pace, isn't he? 151, and the other guys are doing 144s. So I'm not sure I see the benefit, to be honest.
So what was that? 6 seconds? Was that?
Thereabouts.
Yeah, some of it is. Yeah,
you can only afford to have that for say 8 laps. Oh, sorry, was it 6? Yeah, about that.
We'll just go on board with Scott.
But then, if it does dry up, though, he'll be in a good position. But I can't see that happening, to be honest.
You can hear the wheels. You can hear the brakes locking up, I think, or it struggling. I mean, it's great control. He's obviously got that car well tuned in for the weather, but it's he's got Greed and me catching him up fast.
So I'm just watching Helmet quickly. He's unfortunately went back to 17th after his issues, and he's lapping somebody or catching somebody else up that he's actually behind.
If that's someone he's just lapped, that'll be.
It looks like Calzetta, but
yeah.
Right, so Helmet's just past Calzetta.
Yeah, he has. He has just passed him. I'm not too sure.
Interesting. He must have some pace now.
Yeah,
he's in 17.
I'm not sure.
That's confused me.
Yeah, I'm not going to say. I'm not going to say anything. It is Calzetta. It is Calzetta. And Don Jordan is right on Calzetta's tail now.
Oh no! Oh god, I can't watch. Helmet, run. To get a gap from them.
I'm not saying a word. Helmet asked me not to put him in front of public execution this race.
Okay.
And,
oh no, I'm not. It's just he surely agrees. This is a tricky position to be in with pace. But
Helmet, get out of the way.
Well, he passed, and he looks like he's pulling a gap on Calzetta now. Yeah. So he's quicker than. Okay, well, at least that'll either rub salt in the wind or give him a wee boost. I don't know.
And I will tell you guys now, the rain is now starting to die off.
Well,
it's slowing down. So I'm sure the fan clubs on YouTube might be reporting that back to their drivers, but the rain is. Oh, Calzetta just got a bit wobbly there, coming out that corner, but it is starting to slow down.
Calzetta just doesn't like the wet. No. Something that car or style or something.
Yeah, you can see it twitching about, and that's giving Jordan a massive. He's now right behind him, coming down the main straight, over to the chicanes. We'll see how uncomfortable that Ferrari really is in a minute, and how much Jordan can capitalise on that. He's really it's so late on the brakes.
I'm starting to wonder how much Helmet's actually. We all know Helmet really does he really enjoys the tuning aspect of the sim, and it's as if he's really thought about his tune for wet conditions, because he's a lot quicker than those two.
Yeah. It's just interesting you say that. Yeah, he's lapping 1:43.4. Helmet's the fastest car on the track at the moment on wet tyres in these conditions. So yeah, Helmet is absolutely flying right now.
Well, I'll let you into a little secret. Obviously, Helmet's been sharing his setup tips with me, and he has been focusing on getting a car to work in the wet. So I think he has put a lot of time and effort into it. So I think that's clearly paying off at the moment.
Jammer, you're now out. Helmet's circle of trust. You've just done it.
There was a circle.
He's not a secretive guy. He won't mind me saying.
I know.
Jordan, so late on the brakes. That was so close. He almost went plowing into the back. Oh, and that is that's giving Calzetta a bit of breathing space, as he almost went into a back marker as well. It's fantastic racing so far. Right, so while we're looking on board with Calzetta and Jordan, and it looks like the rain hasn't died off fully, but it is slowly getting there. We do have a lot of cars retired from this race. We've got Andy Sand by the looks of things, or maybe not Andy Sand. Maybe they're just in the pits. But a message from Robert De Vries as well. Robert's asking if we can drag him down into the commentary box.
Yeah, shall I go and grab him?
Yeah. Can you drag me down into it?
Soon find out.
Yeah, go for it. Be nice.
And the answer is no.
It's okay. I think I can do it. Or Charger can certainly do it.
I need to get my commentator rights back, boys.
Robert, how you doing, buddy? You've got me, Charger, Jammer, and Rodders in the commentary box at the moment. If Rob's there. Robert.
Yeah, I have to fix my audio. I'm getting everything double now.
Very quiet.
Robert, are you
hear me now?
Yeah, we can. Robert, are you retired from the race, or are you just pitting at the moment?
No, I've got punted and I'm done.
Okay, so was that you got punted? Sorry, was that?
Yeah, moment. I'll be back.
Okay. Oh, so how's the race going for you at the moment? Then is it good or?
So fine. I got the sound of the YouTube now off.
Gotcha. Yeah, how's the race been going for you so? Oh, sorry, Robert. We're just going to have to cut you off for a second because we're just following Jordan and Calzetta again.
Yeah, I was just going to say he's caught. Oh,
he's going for the overtake. He is actually going for the overtake, and he's got the inside as well. And Calzetta's
he's got the swap.
Fantastic racing! What great racing, Jordan! Jordan's going offline now. He's not going to have it. And Calzetta's not going to have it either. This is for P1. This is for the leader for race. It's fantastic. Jordan, once again, he's got no choice but to go on the outside, and Calzetta will be placing his car perfectly. But Jordan's swapped round. No, he hasn't swapped round. So that is Calzetta still holding position 1 as we speak. And that was pretty tasty, wasn't it? It's, yeah.
Be great driving, guys, these conditions.
I'll just move Robert back for a second, as I think he had some audio issues as well. But yeah, as you said, for the driving conditions, they're, you know what? Jordan doesn't have to do it, but he's going to do it anyway, isn't he? It's just I mean, look at that braking. It's just so much quicker.
Now, I'll make an observation. I would say the track looks like it's drying up a little bit, actually.
Yeah,
It is.
the cars look quicker, steadier. How are the lap times looking, actually?
They've come down a little bit. Yeah, Jordan's now done a 143.7, which if we go up to Helmet, that was Helmet's fastest lap as well in the wet, 143.7. So, yeah, Jordan's up to speed. I'm just going to leave this with you guys for a second as I need to go to the little boys' room.
I was just going to say it'll be interesting if the track does start drying out. We're going to see those tyre temperatures and the wets coming up quite quickly, and they'll go off within a few laps. I would have thought.
That's a good point, Jammer. You were talking about them earlier, about the right moment to switch. Because again, I've not got much experience with them. So, what do you think the switchback's like?
Well, I think if we get into the 140s, maybe the 141s with the wets, that's when they'll be looking to change over to the dries again, because I think that seems to be the cut-off point.
Yeah. So, of course, base it on lap time.
Yeah. So, and those wets get hot. They feel horrible when they get really hot.
Yeah.
And they'll be sliding all over the place. But obviously, it's night time, so I don't know how quickly it is going to dry off, because there's not a sun beaming down on that track at the moment. So the only thing they've really got drying that up is the tyres.
Yep, that's a very good point with the sun as well. So yeah, looking at the weather projection, at 5 minutes we're moving to cloud. It's showing sun, but I guess that'll be moon. So it should be partially clear within 5 to 10 minutes.
Are we going to see it go back into daylight? Are we going to get...
No, I mean...
No, okay.
Oh, actually, sorry, times... no.
It's times 6, isn't it?
Oh, wait a minute, times 6. So it's essentially turns it into a 12-hour race, so it started at 5. It might just... I don't know when dawn comes in this location, but it's going to be 5 AM by the end of the race.
We might get... Yeah, we're not going to get any significant rises in temperature, are we? So...
No, temperature-wise, no. You just might see a difference in the light, I reckon.
But I think it's plausible to see these guys coming in for dry tyres at some point. You know, we've got an hour left, so you know, I think we will see some dry tyres going.
Look at the track. I mean, it's damp, but that's all I'd call it now in the driving line. You look at it.
Well, yeah,
it's good close-up shot.
Yeah, I noticed that. It doesn't seem to be as wet by any means now. So we've seen some really interesting racing tonight, actually, some really good racing as well. And I think what we've noticed with the bigger packs is you tend to have people not so spaced out. You know, in previous leagues, you know, it's very easy to be on your own for most of the race. And we're just not really seeing that, which is obviously great for, you know, the racers themselves, but also, you know, people watching the stream. So someone having a bit of an off there by the looks of it.
Okay, the larger grid, it's just generally been super tight in times through the pack, so it just means you always got a good wee race going somewhere.
And we're now joined by John D as well. John, welcome to his commentary box. We're seeing going to be touching each other's parts with the amount of people in here.
Good evening. How are you doing?
As well.
Yeah.
What's happened?
Disqualified for driving the wrong direction.
No way.
Did you have a couple of beers before we started, or
game bug or brain bug?
I will call it a game bug, because you when you have the triple right-hander, it's a bit easy to catch a slide, and you kind of spin around and then you cut the hairpin. And as soon as you go forward across the hairpin, when you cut it, you get disqualified for going the wrong direction.
Oh, no danger.
I'm sorry, I'm just seeing in the YouTube chat. Yeah, sorry, go on.
Yeah, sorry, you're probably the same as what you just saw.
Literally, yeah.
Skull got the same, yeah.
So it is, it's a bit unfortunate. I got caught out a bit by, I was catching Dave. And I guess I found out where I was making up the time, because he was braking a lot earlier than me in one of those turns. So I had to avoid him, and I caught a huge slide and, cut the track and got tossed out.
So just noticed that, I'm not sure if there's been another mistake, but Don Jordan's dropped back 3 seconds behind Calzetta now.
It looks like there has been a mistake.
Looks like his last lap was a 1:46, which is a bit slower than they have been doing. So he's clearly had an issue.
He's
It's-
second down this one as well.
It's drying up now, so the track is going to go dry. It's going to stop raining. So the question is who have pitted for the dries and who's staying out on the wet.
Well, it has officially just stopped raining now. It's now stopped raining, so yeah, the track will start drying out pretty quickly.
Yeah, and like I said, we're gonna. Sorry, go on.
FX is in the pits. I just noticed.
I was going to say, well, there you go. Jordan's just gone in, so he's going to try and bump Calzetta here.
Maybe his tyres were overheating. That's what was causing it.
Yeah,
that jammer.
Yeah, they overheat very, very quickly, and like I said, it's a very fine line between we're now into the 143, so I think we're at the window now to get onto those dry tyres, because I think that track will dry up quite quickly, and those wets will just be rendered useless.
Yeah. Okay, so if they go to dries now, they should, weather not changing again, that should be them to the end.
Did Scott come in for wet tyres in the end? Does anyone know?
I'm not sure.
What position? Oh, he's in 10th.
Oh,
Sorry, just having a look. Winch and Crew. It looks like they've just had an off. I'm hoping that wasn't. I'm hoping Dave Crew wasn't up.
Oh, Java, I see your point. Scott's not been in at all, sorry.
so he's in a really good position now.
Oh, that is a shame. It looks like playing Dave Crew's. Oh, that's it. That's Dave Crew. His registering was just coming out of pits, but that was a nasty little contact. Not too sure what happened there.
It's a difficult exit out of the pits because you're sort of blind coming out of the pits. It's very difficult to see what's coming up behind you. So I wonder if that was potentially an issue there.
Right. So just on board with Calzetta, he's not pitted yet. He's still he's coming up to the final few corners. It's crucial now. He's got a pit, hasn't he? That's in my mind, and he has. He's pitting now. This is to see if he.
I wonder how much time you lost in that lap.
Yeah.
They probably won't really see the time properly. But
No. It's worth a note that Carlos Bolanos is still out on track as well. I believe he's got a couple of lap cars behind him. Rick Binnisley again. It looks like he's managed to stretch it out, and he's in third position now. And Don Jordan.
Sorry, just quickly, guys. It looks like Beer's been kicked for some unknown reason. I'm just seeing in the YouTube chat, and we've had someone else, Oddbod Jod. I don't know who that is, but they've also been disqualified by the looks of it.
Hey, can I just confirm? So Scott Free hasn't done any pit stops. He didn't stop once already. He doesn't have to stop again. He's just not stopped yet.
I'm looking at the in-game list, and he's marked as orange, and that means he haven't finished his mandatory.
Just a quick one,
thanks,
guys. Calzetta's coming out of pits, and Jordan's not long. Jordan's coming down the final corner now. I think Calzetta's he's crawling out of the pits.
Still crawling.
This is going to be
He's
really
gonna have this.
close. I think he is. I think Jordan's
He's
got
going to
this.
get it.
No, I don't think he will. I don't think he will. I think he'll be alright.
Where did he come out? Is it quite a bit along?
They come around the third.
He's got
corner.
it. He's Jordan's now in. Jordan's now taking the position of Calzetta. Calzetta's right behind Jordan now. So
It's dry though. It should be advantage Calzetta.
Yeah.
Unless there was some other aspect causing that earlier.
Let's watch Calzetta.
It's also cooler.
Time
A
as
lot
well.
cooler.
yeah,
21.
still saying that parts of the track are still wet. So maybe they need to might need to take it a bit careful on certain points. But it's looking pretty dry out there now. To be fair.
No, they don't slip on my sick.
So you did. I'm trying to get in my head. Where were you sick, Bill?
Were you actually sick, or you just felt sick, so you stopped?
No, I was sick in my mouth.
Oh,
I had to run out and just let it out. Yeah.
was sick in my mouth.
Let it go.
Race driver problems, you know. You get sick.
Unless these are out of position, I think we've got 3 guys here, Binnersley, and a few others just coming out the pits together. Not sure, are they in the same lap? I think they are.
If you remember a few years ago, if anyone watches the Formula One, Mark Webber had a bout of food poisoning and was being sick in his helmet. Can't really imagine anything worse than that.
He's sick in a space helmet. He's sick in a
wasn't wearing a helmet.
Am I reading this right? That Curtin is in 3rd place, but he's 9 seconds behind. All right, he was saying 1 lap. I couldn't get that.
I've got that on Rigel just now. It says he's +1. I think it's a bit confused at the moment.
Yeah, I think if the person in front has crossed the start-finish line, it'll register the car behind as a lap down.
Yeah.
But then when they go over it, it'll reset the timings.
It looks like Curtin's currently got. There's a 1 point. I don't know whether that's a lap car actually. I think that's a lap car behind Cows. So I don't know. It only tells me the gaps between the cars, not the actual positions. So.
Sean Wright's got a stop and go. There was somebody else had one, but it disappeared just before I clocked the name.
Just a shout out to Audi, who's currently racing down in 8th position, and he's given some. He's currently. I wouldn't say closing in, but following behind Cox.
He's a second. Yeah, second behind that. He must. The rain must have done him good there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right, I'll be back in a minute. I'm just going to go and siphon the python.
Oh Jesus.
Okay. Roger.
So I'm looking forward to. Rodders, did you want to tell us a little bit more about this 6-hour endurance race coming up and how it's gonna work for those who are listening in?
Yeah, so it'll be teams of 2. There's a few teams of 3. Just the situation, they needed 3, but generally teams of 2. 6 hours around Suzuka, kind of starting late afternoon, just moving into the evening. We kept the time progression ×1 because there was just so many variables. The decision was, you hear a few rumours it can maybe cause issues, but to be honest, this seemed fine tonight. So it's just going to be that sort of late early evening into the evening spell. And we've got 30. I think we set a maximum of 35 teams, and we've pretty much filled it as far as I know. So just frantic, lots of practicing. It's driver swaps. A lot of us are new to that. ACC's still maybe get the odd wee rough edge around it. So we're kind of anxious, nervous, and excited about it. So that's next Saturday. Starting, I think it's 5:30. Hope I get that right. You're doing the 6 hours commentary debug. So it was really good of you to offer to do that.
So I'm going to be doing it when I'm not racing.
No, it's one of those. It's one of those things. We'll wait and see. There might be people who can drop in and out. We'll need to maybe have a chat about that aspect. But yeah, big race next Saturday. Should be a beaut.
I'm hoping I'm doing some practice with pinners tomorrow night, but I'm hoping my other half doesn't decide to have a baby next Saturday. That's literally imminent now as well. Just quickly, looking on board, Don Jordan's seems to have a nice little lead over Calzetta now.
Calzetta's not catching, that's for sure.
No, and he's got Helmet in front of him. Helmet.
Oh no, he's caught a helmet up now. Oh, the helmet's just too stressful. I can't watch.
But if there's one thing I know about Helmet, he's a safe driver, dedicated driver, and he will get out of the way for Jordan. I'm telling you.
Well, Jordan's got pace. I mean, they did for him. He clearly had pace on them earlier. Just amazing the difference from one. I mean, as I say, Helmet just had significant pace on Calzetta and Jordan, I had to double take that it was them at first. But yeah,
Yeah.
I don't think Don will be long getting past.
Track temperature is still dropping as well.
Oh
so-
no!
no!
Oh
No! I'm not joking. I'm actually sitting in the commentary box right now.
Who was that hit him?
It was Don Jordan.
Oh,
It
no.
happened too quick to really. I don't know if you can get the replay thing, but
I might be able to.
I failed miserably. But
We could give it a minus minute replay. I mean,
oh, maybe just leave it. That was
Yeah.
that's tragic. I'm not sure really what happened. It was both cars seemed to be in a fair position, but front to rear is connected, and helmet had not much choice in the matter after that.
no, yeah. I mean, I think Jordan was possibly too impatient there. He was quicker than a helmet, and he should have maybe waited. And of course, that doesn't do any good because that's just lost Jordan position. Not that he's obviously racing Calzetta for a competition, but for the league. But Kevin Cox is in 7th, so he doesn't want to make too many silly mistakes like that because it could cost him in the end. So, because the replay function is minus 10.
Just quickly, we've got Scott Free in 4th, been challenged, but I thought Rigel's just passed him quite easily.
Rigel was going a lot faster. He was like 2-3 seconds a lap faster than Scott Free.
Scott's still not pitted. I mean, so he has got to pit, but and I guess the rest of the drivers don't. But still, well,
he is 5 seconds slower than the pack he's round. Yeah, he's it's a good tactic, and we've seen it played in quite a few motorsports, but I'm not too sure it could work out too well in the end.
Well, he's obviously going to lose a fair amount of positions when he finally goes into the pit, but he will obviously have a much fresher tyres than everyone else, but I don't think it's really going to give him any real advantage later on in the race, unless we get some more rain, of course. And then he just goes straight in for wet tyres. He might be in a good position then, but...
Hey, guess what position Rigel's in, everyone?
I was just going to say that. I was going to ask you. 4th? Is he? Mid 4th?
Yeah.
He's in 4th. And to be honest, we've been a bit mean to Rigel, haven't we? Because he hasn't actually been given driver of the match.
Oh,
in any of it.
I feel bad.
And he's done a sublime job going from the position he started in to holding. Well, that's 43 minutes left. What am I talking about? Anything could happen.
I mean, it's got a well-suited car because that Aston does look very smug.
Yeah, I was just having a look down the field at Dave Crew, who's in 16th, because he had someone closely following him, and that's funny enough, Rigel. So looking down the pack, we've got Xavier Eugene. He's had a pretty good race, hasn't he? He's been a pretty good driver throughout the league. Anyone shot out to you, Jammer, while this league's been going on?
I think Rigel's had a very, very good race. To get himself up to 4th at the moment, it's very good. I'd say Audi's having a good race as well. He's going to be very pleased with, an 8th position.
Not seen much of him. He had a wee fight earlier. We noticed that he's obviously been just hanging it in there, and I think the rain spell done him good.
Yeah. We've just been told as well, Taz has reported back on YouTube that Sean Wright is out of a race and has lost his connection, which is a shame. Big shame.
Lost a few tonight, unfortunately.
Yeah.
For race driver of the event for me is I'm going to have to wait and see because I want to see where Scott Free ends up.
I mean, that could... Oh, wow. It could that could be a genius move, or it could be a a foolish one, but he'll kill me for saying that. But
I suspect he'll be about 20th after he has to pit, but
I mean, something pretty dramatic's got to happen for that strategy to pull off, isn't it?
Yeah,
Well,
I'm just. He gave it a shot. It's good to see, and you know, it was obviously. It looked like it was kind of in the viable range. I can't remember what position he was in prior to all the the rain coming on. So to compare it,
I think he was in the teens, from what I can remember.
it's quite interesting. We're just on board with Helmet now, who's 15th, but he's sticking to Curtin quite well. So he's obviously that's where he's recovered from the mishap between him and Jordan, and he's definitely got pace in that car, that's a shame because he's got the pace and he's showing it. He just needs to put it together and keep it now, and he should be coming up. Eugenie's not too far away from him, so he should be getting some good positions.
I think it's interesting looking at the lap times. I see Helmut just did a 140. Is that those tyres are still not optimal at the moment, so they are going to be quite cold. I think the track is a little bit damp still, but those tyres are going to start coming in now.
Question is if they tested what kind of temperature will be this late at night, set the pressures correctly or accordingly.
I'm just on board. I'm just on board with Scott Free again. He's starting to show some real grip loss. So it looks like those tyres were good for a while, but they're definitely not.
I want to know what he's waiting for.
I know he's definitely losing time now. He's been on them for an hour and 20. He's got to change them. So
is he paying for his tyres? Is that what we're seeing? Is he coming out of his wallet for those?
Charger, did you set up a shady deal where you told Scott he had to pay for tyres when he raced with us?
Sorry? Scott Free? No.
But to be fair, Moyes is a bit of a distance from him, so Moyes still has to get past 2-lap cars before he plays about with Scott Free. So, and that's the same with Kevin Cox as well. And Kevin Cox is even further behind. So, I don't know. I mean, this could pay off absolutely amazingly for Scott Free, or it could be a disaster.
If he finishes in the top 10, I will eat my hat.
Yeah,
I thought you were going to say something else then. Right.
There's under 40 seconds of time between him and 10th place. So,
hey, guess what, peeps? Don Jordan is right on the tail of Gianmarco Calzetta again. He's gained his position, and I'm sure he'll be making a play at any point as they come through this fast back straight turning. These two have been in a league of our own, but that Ferrari's just constantly skidding.
Debug, can you remember or repeat what you said about the points situation for the drivers? Just have a quick reminder. Yeah.
So obviously if Jake Moore had been in the race tonight, he'd have won it, unless he had a DNF. Or he didn't attend. For Moyes to win the championship, so for Moyes to win, he had to have been ahead of Jordan and Cox. They had to be in 10th or worst, and Moyes had to win. For Cox and Jordan to win, they had to be in the top 9 and in front of each other. So that was a crucial one. It was basically between Cox and Jordan.
Right, so Jordan's looking good. He's happy where he is. He doesn't need to risk it.
Doesn't need to at all.
He doesn't look like
he's going on the inside, and he's gone wide, and that's given Calzetta's just taken it again.
But this is the thing: is you say he doesn't have to risk it, but how many racing drivers do you know, or sim racers for that matter, who are happy with being behind someone? It just doesn't work like that.
Yeah,
that was a prime example of him. He just needs to calm down a bit and just take it easy.
It depends how hard he's pushing it. You maybe won't take a few extra risks, but if he's got pace on, Calzetta kind of just comfortably driving that car, then he's going to take it. You're not going to slow down.
It's a braking I can't get. I just can't compute it with Jordan. He's like a Daniel Ricciardo with that late braking. I've watched him now. This is the third race I've watched him in, and it's just the speed he comes up to people in those corners, and that's probably where he got caught out with helmet. And I can imagine that's where he gets caught out with some others because.
To be while I definitely agree with you that you get that thing with some cars where it's just that mid-corner pace is so much better and it catches them off guard. But if that was the case, we need to see the replay properly. By this point in the race, Don should know that and kind of know what his car's like that. So it's not an excuse, but yeah.
Oh, we've just been told Scott Free's in the pits.
Yeah.
His war battered
So
car.
he's just coming out. Is that him just going in?
That's him just coming
just
out.
coming out.
15th.
He's clear 15th for the looks of it.
I mean, the only real thing he's got going for him now is a fresh set of tyres, but I can't see, the guys who pitted earlier. They're not going to go off because they pitted quite late in the window. If they were just doing a one stop, so I don't think he's going to gain any real advantage from that, unfortunately.
You do tend to get a bit of a boost just the first, say, 5 laps in fresh rubber, but after that they kind of tail off, and then kind of they're just quite steady as far as I know. So,
well, he doesn't need to do well because I'll have to eat my hat. So if he stays in, he needs to stay below 10th now. Otherwise, I'm in trouble.
Dave close behind him, so Dave's no slouch. So he might be fighting a rear battle soon.
Yeah, in fact, I think Dave's already caught up with him quite significantly, and it'll be interesting to see what their pace is like. Dave Crew's definitely got a quicker lap time, but with Scott on a brand new set of rubber, we'll see what he can do. But Dave's already right on him, so. And we've got RIP Gabsy. Has Gabsy gone? Was Gabsy even in the race?
Yeah, Gabsy was in.
Gabsy was in the race, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think he's gone. He's out as well.
I know he's listening on the YouTube, so if he wants to give us, he says he totally fluffed it, to put it politely. So I'm guessing he had an issue, had an accident. That's unfortunate, Gabsy.
Yeah, unlucky.
I'm sorry, but I got to say that the racing between the top guys this league has been absolutely fantastic, and we're seeing it again now. It
has been.
These two are absolutely battling it out.
I'm just going to give a quick shout out for Oliver Curtin because he's got a huge gap to Rigel and he's well behind Don, so he's probably got a solid third now. But this is one of those positions he'll be happy, but he'll have a fairly lonely race for a while, just passing traffic. But obviously, good race from Curtin there.
It's a good position to be in as well.
Yeah.
Jordan looks like he's pushing really hard, I must say. He was running quite wide there, so he's obviously he's desperate to get past Calzetta, that's for sure.
This will be it for them now, won't it? It'll be they won't be stopping after this unless we get more rain.
I think it'd be a travesty if we got more rain.
A travesty.
Bloody would, mate.
Pretty sure it won't rain anymore. I mean, that was the rain spell we had, and it's going to be clear where they're here from. I mean,
I'm glad you're not writing the sort of newspaper headlines. Travesty. RWB
Shock.
Racing's final race of the season was a travesty.
Catastrophe.
It looks like Jordan's getting very peachy for the overtake now again. I want to be watching.
He got it now.
Has he got it? He's on the inside. No, he hasn't got it yet. He hasn't got it.
Close.
Maybe he is just being sensible. Although I don't think he is.
It doesn't look like he's been sensible.
I'm trying to imagine him there.
Well, he's going to be losing traction, being that close behind him, and I imagine he's going to be he's going to be hammering those tyres right now. I'm just not sure that is, but he wants the league win, and he obviously wants to finish it off with a win in this as well. Yeah. So, I mean, who can blame him?
If he had a pit crew right now, they'd be saying, "Slow down, don't do it."
Just calmly, you can just take it easy now, Oliver. You've got it in the bag, and just a few minutes passed. Yep, yeah, you're just confirming you can hear us. You can take it easy.
We've all heard that so many times.
Yeah, so many times. Yeah.
So here's Oliver Curtin, minding his own business. He's got RWB Rigel somewhere behind him. I'm not too sure where because the timings and gaps aren't doing too well. Shout out to Audi as well in 7th position. That's absolutely fantastic. With Cox in front of him in 6th and Gree in 8th. Carlos Bolanos in 9th and Rick Vinicius in 10th. Rigel's pretty much running his own chilled out race again, really, isn't he?
He's got 4th. That was, as soon as he's there, just happy as Larry.
It's first to him, really, isn't it?
It's like a wee warm, comfy jacket. Just that'll do me. I'll have a pint, sit in a smug drink. Nice. Good solid racing from Rigel.
Just trying to see if Marco Moyes, he's got
somebody just go wide just behind Rigel there and almost hit him.
I'm not too sure.
Oh no, sorry, I was in a different bloody driver.
Rigel is doing quite steady, faster laps than Marco Moyes, so I don't think he'll be catching him up.
Right. And is he? How's he looking when it comes to Oliver Curtin? He's not got any chance against catching Curtin.
Last time I looked, Curtin was going fast as unknown.
So I just went to helmet. He just caught up. I don't know if it's a back marker or it's Eugenie. No, it's not. It's a back marker. He just hit the rear lightly going into a bend. His helmet looks to be pushing hard. He's catching up Eugenie. Bergquist is only a 1.5 seconds ahead of him, so I reckon Helmet thinks the last half hour he can get a few places.
It's worth pointing out a fight between Gree Demi and Carlos Bolanos at the moment as well for 8th position. They're also racing really hard, and Bolanos has just gone in for he just went in for a late braking move and got past Demi, which is I'm sure Gree wouldn't want that, to be honest. And but no, great overtake there.
Yeah.
Lovely move. And I'm sure Gree probably didn't see it coming, to be honest. But again, you leave the gap open, you leave the door open, he's going to do it. So we're 29 minutes in, and the guys
29 minutes in, are we?
29 minutes to go. And I'm going to pour another beer. And something's happened with Calzetta and Jordan, because Calzetta's managed to get past a lapped car, and Jordan is obviously, I think he must have made a mistake. He's 0.6 down on this lap, and he's behind the lap car now, so that's given Calzetta some breathing room.
Yeah, it certainly has.
Yeah, he went a bit deep in one turn there. So he lost a bit of time.
Right.
It'll be all smiles for Calzetta right now, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. Rods, can we see any more action on the track at the moment?
Yeah, let's have a look. Something's working out. People are lapping up close together.
Bolanos is quite close to Audi.
So Dave Cruz passed Scott Free. I just noticed he's got a slight under a second behind Dave Scott, but I think Dave was a couple of seconds behind, so I imagine that gap will increase.
Right. There is a tasty fight going on right now for 7th position. Sorry.
Bolanos looks like he's catching Audi quite quickly.
Yeah, I think that's one of the best.
Said, yeah. So that's Audi, Bolanos, and Demi could be catching, and these three are going to be racing. And guess what? They've got Calzetta coming up to them to lap them. So that'll be interesting. That will be interesting. That is him behind Demi. So Gree will most likely get out of the way. But if Audi and Bolanos are racing hard, which it looks like they are, Audi doesn't want to lose that position. He's proud of it. So he'll be putting his car in the right places and going defensive, I'd imagine, because Carlos just looks so much quicker. And again, it's that Ferrari on track, which just looks stuck to the tarmac.
It's flying.
Really good in the dry.
Yeah, and of course it is dry now, clear skies with a track temperature of 20 degrees. So they're just managing the tyres, and it looks like Audi's gone a little bit wide. He's not going to give that positioning. He's got no choice. So that is Carlos into 7th position now. And Audi's got an opportunity to fight back for it, but I don't think he will.
How far in front is Cox in front of Bolanos now?
Demi has spun
20
off.
seconds.
Demi has spun off, has he?
Yep.
He has.
Oh,
yep,
no.
You're absolutely right. He has spun off. That is a shame. That's a massive shame. I wonder if that was down to... Doesn't look like it was any fault of the front runners. They all seem okay. Calzetta is coming across up to Audi, and Jordan's gotten past the last back marker, so he's got clear air now and can catch Calzetta.
So, Helmet's coming up to, I reckon, past Eugenie soon.
Yep, I can see that now. Yep. So let's take a quick look on board with the back of Eugenie. And this will be a good one for Helmet, because he needs to get past Eugenie and needs to move up and get some more points, and it'll be a bit of a confidence booster for him as well, because he's had a couple of on and offs all race, but it'll do him good to get this, and he's definitely got a better turning.
Yeah, I think he's got the pace here. Generally, just needs to play it cool. He'll get past, I reckon.
Yeah, and if some of you who are following us on YouTube tonight, you're new to this and new to the stream, it's the RWB events, and we are an open racing club. We're more than welcome to have you come along to our weekly sessions and race with us. There's plenty of people like Rodders and Jammer who'll help you out. Not so much Charger.
Oh, looks like he's run a bit wide there. He's opened the door right up.
Oh, he got back though. Jeez, look, Helmet. I think you might have him.
It's whether Eugenie will take it and acknowledge that Helmet is there, and he's going on the outside. He's still trying to cling on to it, and it's going to be the old switcheroo and see if he can get past here.
It's a great straight line pace, that Beamer. It seems to have a wee bit on the Nissan.
Yeah, but Helmets, I think the experience with him and track placement, he's got himself ahead of Eugenie now, and I think it'll be quite difficult for him to catch him. Just looking down, looks like if we look over to Calzetta now, I think he's now cleared Audi and cleared the pack which we were worried about, and so he's now lapped up to P8.
You have Jonas Bergqvist, who's chasing Matt Al for 10th place.
Okay, let's have a look at this now. Mad Al, he's been doing really good in the club, hasn't he? And he's been improving week by week.
Yeah, that's a great position. 10th place, in these fields we've had in ACC. Top 10's excellent finish. If he can hold on to it, it's a lot of pressure about.
Yeah, and again, this is where it's all about car placement, and it's all about not making sure you don't leave that door open. If he leaves that door open, he will have a go at that.
The guys are all going to be in a real kind of rhythm by now, and a sort of weary rhythm by this point, to be honest. So I doubt any of them, apart from ones that are really pushing for positions. Just that late adrenaline rush where you see you've got a chance for maybe a place or two. They'll just be wanting to, I guess, hold it steady. But
I was going to say earlier, this is the point in the race where you start watching the clock, don't you? And you're going, oh God, is it going to be over soon? I think that's when you start to lapse concentration. It's very
if if you keep pushing, you probably will make a mistake. You've got to find just the right moment to kind of think, right, I don't, I can maybe not step it down a gear, but you know what I mean, just settle it down a wee bit, not aiming for positioning or passing or strategizing, just run it to the end.
I was reading an interesting article the other day on Charles Leclerc, and obviously he's bought into this whole sim racing thing since the Formula One's not on. And he was saying that the races he's done, he's found it actually to be more mentally difficult to do sim racing than real racing, because you just don't have that feel of the car underneath you. So it's very much less physical and more mental. So I think kudos to these
probably
guys.
For them. They've lost senses basically, so I'd say in a way unexperienced sim racers definitely get an advantage initially, because they have essentially lost part of their repertoire for driving the car.
Yeah, definitely. But I think even 2-hour race is very long, and by this point you're getting very tired, especially those in VR as well. I think that's very straining on the eyes.
Oh yeah, it's really physically tiring. So
sounds like you are physically tired, man.
I know it's just watching it. Things exhausting. Telling you, forget about the drivers.
I was just going to say, Calzetta, he's pushed a lovely lead ahead of Jordan now. Really, really pushed a big lead over him. So I'm not too sure whether Jordan's struggling. He's Calzetta's last lap was a 1:36.5 and Jordan's was a 1:37.1. And it's one to note as well that Curtin's also lapping in some quick times now as well.
Could just come. Sorry, Jammer, on you go.
No, I was going to say it's interesting when you've got someone that close behind you. You can feel the pressure and almost can make you slower, can't it? When you that pressure suddenly lifts off and he settles back into a rhythm. I think that's why we've seen his lap times increase, and he's just pulling that gap. He's comfortable now, isn't he?
And potentially, if he's done the maths, he had a few close calls there. I think maybe with Calzetta, maybe he has just thought the wiser of it. I don't know Don well enough to know sort of what kind of real racer he is, apart from fast and good to drive against. But you could just be thinking he's in totally safe territory. All of us only 4 seconds behind now. Was that not a lot bigger earlier? Like a lot bigger?
It was a lot bigger.
Or the timing's out?
No. It was a lot bigger. And Jordan's struggling even more.
Wait a minute, that's down to 3 seconds now, according to my...
Jordan's had an off somewhere again, because he's now 1.4 seconds slower on this lap alone.
Have he lost tyre pressure going aggressively over the curbs in chasing Calzetta?
Good point. Something's wrong.
Yeah, absolutely. So I just wanted to go down, as a few people on YouTube have pointed out.
I was just about to say that.
Yeah, let's just quickly go down the laps. We've had a quick look at the top 10, but obviously in 10th at the moment we do have Jonas Berg, and he's pretty much on his own on this race at the moment. I say that he has got Helmet behind him, catching him quite quickly actually. Helmet is in 11th place now. He managed to overtake Xavier Eugenie earlier on, which we saw. Xavier is still in 12th position, and he's closing down, or he's trying to catch up on Helmet. Mad Al, though, as you saw as well, Mad Al in 13th. He's got Eugenie in his sights by the looks of things, and Diaz obviously is a back marker behind him. Greedimi in 14th position. Greedimi. Is that Greedimi? I don't
Greedimi.
Fucking spell it like that. Sorry, my French. Dave Crew in 15th position as well. Scott Free down in 16th. So that long stint kind of maybe paid off for him, but he's got a lot of quick cars around him, and he's got to compete with those. So see how he gets on with the rest of them. RWB Medster is down there in 17th, running a bit of a lonesome race. 18th is Nate Newcomer, which right now has he got? No, he's got the back markers. No, he is a back marker. Sorry, and he's got Curtin and Audi around him. You got 19th Zachary Etier, again pretty much on his Todd right now. Tom Proctor not too far behind him in 20th. You've got Dan Anderson just going into the pits now on 21st. Maybe has a bit of damage or changing his tyres. FX UK has moved into 21st, so that's our resident streamer, Mr. FX. 23rd is Dan Anderson, just coming out of those pits. 24th, Mr. Winch. He's not really had the race he probably wanted this tonight, so but no, he's 24th, Ryan Winch. 25th, we've got RWB Isaacs, again running a bit of a lonesome race there, but good quality finish there. 26th, we've got Flack again, a bit on his Todd, but that's a great position for him. And then down from there, we've got 27th, Mr. Napone. 28th, we've got John Hall. 29th, we've got James Downs, and actually from 29th onwards, I think they are all retirees. So yeah, retirees.
Sorry to jump in, but yeah, Oliver Curtin's down to almost a second behind Don Jordan now. He's losing just. We can check. It looks like he's losing 2 or 3 seconds a lap or something like that just now.
It would look like he's another second and a half down on this lap as well. Actually,
I think he's fried those tyres from chasing Calzetta, and you know, like I was saying earlier, you just need to take it easy, and I think he's got
not
himself
even fought
into
that pass.
Is he on the wrong tyre?
Nah,
Courtney is doing very steady 135.5s right now.
That's pretty quick, isn't it?
That is very quick. That is very, very quick.
See Don there, he's really struggling with that car.
Yeah, and Don Jordan is on the 37 once, 6, 38 4, 38 0. So yeah, that's what 2 seconds.
I think, as you said, maybe John, it's a tyre pressure thing. Cause the cooler temps and a loss in pressure on top of that. It would explain it, that or suspension. It's just, I don't think it's just the.
But he was quick, wasn't he, beforehand? But
yeah, he was. I mean, Calzetta's just yoinked away from him.
I think he's just
right on
taking
his tail.
too much out of those tyres.
Yeah, and I'm just wondering if he can't pick this pace up, he might be under threat for the championship here. It's just a caveat there.
How far's Moyes is miles behind, is he not? Like
it's not Moyes, it's Mr. Cox.
Rigel.
He needs to worry about.
Oh right, yeah.
Oh, I thought Don just had to beat Moyes.
No, so Don Jordan, he has to either him or so for Moyes to have won, Moyes would have had to have been in first, and Jordan and Cox would have had to have been past 10th. For Jordan or Cox to win this, either of them have to be in front of each other above 7th or 8th, I think it is.
Right.
So at the moment,
fine for that.
Well, I mean, he's slow. Jordan's really slow right now. He's actually he's 3.2 seconds slower than Cox.
Yeah, but it's just about 7 laps left or something, isn't it?
Well, I can't see how big the gap is between Jordan and Rigel at the moment.
No, I can't either.
Just out of
Cox
interest,
is 17 behind Moyes.
Out of interest, how many's left?
How many cars are left?
Oh, yeah.
32.
I think there's
No,
less than
28, isn't it?
28
sorry,
cars
it's
left.
less.
So we're gonna once Jordan crosses that finish line, we're gonna go over to Cox and see.
Right, Rigel's
exactly
27
where he is.
seconds ahead behind Jordan, and when Cox is 16 seconds behind Moyes. So, and we're still missing one, so that's 40 seconds at least. I don't see him losing that in 13 minutes, surely.
Okay, it's all to play for.
Could it be fuel? Could they be saving fuel?
Might be. I mean, the championship's just it's just shaking it up. I thought we had a clear winner. But let's see. We're coming up to Jordan's coming up to this final straight, and what's he lapping in now? He's just going to go past in a. That's a 1:41. That's
Jesus.
6 seconds almost slower than Cox.
I think he's got a problem.
Fuel. I'm going to guess fuel. Why he can't have a problem? The car looks fine. Generally.
So we're just focusing on Cox at the moment, who's he is a long way away, as you were saying, Wadders. But I'm just trying to time it now. Oh, it is a massive.
I mean,
gap.
if it is fuel and he's progressively trying to save more and more, he must have a real fuel issue.
I tell you what, Rigel's ready for a podium. This is gonna fit nicely into our little smug man, and him finally getting to sit on the podium.
No, he wouldn't. He won't. He'll stay in fourth. We've established that.
He'll just sit there and like stay behind Jordan the entire race.
We know Jordan's fine because Rigel can't be third. It's not possible.
Charger, what do you make of it? Is anybody? I was going to say, sorry, is anybody who's watching the YouTube channel? Is anyone actually in the comms channel? And is Jordan right now in the comms channel swearing?
I'm not sure. I can jump up there. No, there won't be any. There won't be any chatter in there. There was a bit of chatter earlier.
Yeah, he's just increased the pace. He's back up to the 1:38.7 old Jordan is, but that's got
to be fuel then.
Yeah, he's still 2 seconds slower. Okay, so for those of you who are still watching, bit of a change. We were watching Calzetta and Jordan attacking each other for first position, but in the last 10-15 minutes, we've seen Jordan take a massive drop in pace and Oliver Curtin take second position. He is in third at the moment. We have been laughing and joking at Rigel staying in fourth position, but it is all to play for now, and Rigel could, especially at this pace, get a podium, but it's whether Jordan would fight back. Let's just go on board with Jordan's cockpit to see if he's short shifting, and it is fuel. Let's just have a look.
So I think he might have done his fuel saving by now, potentially. Can't actually see his fuel, can we?
No, he doesn't look like he's short shifting though, does he?
Not now, no. But the fact his lap time's picked up like that, I can't think what else would have caused.
But he's still 3.1 seconds down on his. I don't know if that's his best lap time or last lap time. So it'll be interesting to see what he passes that finish line in again. It's great that there's always dramas. There's never an easy win. Who was the guy who ran out of fuel on the last corner on one of the races I was commentating on? Ulrich, that was it. Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
That's his speciality. I tend to capitalise from it, so I can continue.
3 hour race, wasn't it? 3 hours.
Yes, yeah, it was. I've never
50 meters from the finish line. He stopped.
Me and John were screaming. Jordan's definitely 100% fuel saving. You can listen, and Allwin's said it as well on YouTube. You can hear that engine, those shifts. That is definitely fuel saving. He's not even.
Is it? I'm not familiar with the point in the Aston. Doesn't kind of sound like he is, but is that definitely?
Yeah, I mean he's lapping 2.3 seconds, 2.4 seconds again slower. He was a 1:40 on that last lap. He's not even on the power. He's got to be short shift. Yeah, so he's on the throttle late and lets off really early. We're being told on YouTube. So Charger puked. Yeah, that's it. If you're wondering what did happen to RWB Charger, he vomited in his mouth. That's what happened to him. Wasn't a man. He just quit the race.
That's actually a club rule. You're not allowed to quit a race until you've vomited in your mouth, and then that's acceptable.
I really didn't want to. I really didn't want to projectile it all over my nice open steering wheel.
So we're just seeing Calzetta overtake scot-free, lap scot-free. He's pretty much dominated this race. He's shown strength from the start of a race when he overtook Oliver Curtin. Oliver Curtin's still in P2 at the moment. Is looking with 7 minutes to go. Like that's a pretty fixed position for himself, unless something goes wrong. Again, he's got no cars behind him or in front of him. That's pretty sound for him. But we're still trying to scratch our heads. We think it's fuel saving that Jordan's having to start to do. Everyone's listening to his onboard engine from the YouTube. It definitely people think that it is fuel saving. It is trying to get to the end of the race. And Mr. Smug, RWB Rigel, he can't be too far behind him, but he has still got a way to go. So 6 minutes 44. I wonder if Rigel knows that he's lapping 3.5-4 seconds quicker every lap than Dom. But
well, you'll certainly notice that time coming down in the split. So
it says it's 17 seconds since the last I seen.
Wow. So we could see him in.
I think he's going to be okay.
Yeah.
it'd be pretty hard, especially
close. Marco Moyes is in fifth. Is the Moyes crew still here? You're all very quiet. We haven't heard a thing from you guys for a while. And Kevin Cox, the other person contending for the championship lead, currently down in 6th position. But guess what? Carlos Bolanos is on his tail. And Cox and Bolanos are currently fighting for 6th position. So we'll stay with this one for a little bit. And Bolanos looks like he tried going on the inside then, but Cox has placed his car really nicely and he's got the traction away from that corner. But Bolanos definitely looks good in that Ferrari. And guess what? Calzetta's behind P7 and P6. So,
just going back to what we were saying earlier, Rodders, about the whether we were going to see daylight or not, I think our question has now been answered.
Good point. Yeah.
So clearly the sun comes up about 5 to 5.
Helmet's looks like he's caught Berquist up. Helmet's up to 10th now, so he's managed to get back to top 10. So that's a valiant recovery after the early issues.
That's fantastic. And the Moyes crew are here. They're all shouting and yelling now.
He's having a lonely one with the looks of it at the moment.
He is, yeah. Bolanos really using those curbs to his advantage to try and gain some time on Cox. But yeah, I think Cox is playing a very relaxed, chilled out race, to be honest. I'm still looking at the timings, and Don Jordan's times are just walking away from him. 3.3 seconds slower this time.
Moyes has done he's just 5th's a great finish. He's had a solid enough race. Not seen too much tonight. I'm guessing maybe a few wee issues, but no.
So guys, I know we're getting quite close to the end of the race now, and I think we need to start talking about our man of the match. I must say, Calzetta for me. I think he's not put a foot wrong tonight. He's been absolutely superstar.
Can't have it. He's in first.
Right. Okay.
Top 3.
I'll be honest. Moyes has been nominated, I think, for the last 3 weeks, and he's never won it. And his fan club, I think, if he didn't win it, probably would.
I mean, for me, it's between Audi, Moyes, and Rigel.
I do between Audi. I had Audi and Helmet, but I'll add Moyes in so as not to upset the fans. I mean, Moyes is in a good solid race, but Audi and Helmet.
Eddie's done well, hasn't he? He's done well.
Menacing Skull saying, "Can Rigel have it finally?"
Rigel can't have anything. He's too small.
I would give it to Moyes just to ask questions about his fan club.
Yeah. Do you know what we've just seen? Now this is crucial. With 3 minutes to go, we might be speaking to Mr. Smug anyway, because I've just seen down the main straight Jordan was on, Mr. Smug in the background. So I don't know how far it shows he is on your screen.
Fast just now, Don. Still,
He's just a helmet, yeah.
Oh,
He's 5.1 seconds slower. 5.1 seconds slower, everyone.
He's got to do another 2 laps, I reckon, from here. Or in fact, is it more than that actually?
Is he going to run out of fuel though? This is the other question.
I'm getting really worried looking at him that he is, because his driving's weird.
This is awful. It's awful. I can't believe for the
really
championship.
Oh,
I mean, look how much he's lost out to helmet already, and he only just went past.
Yeah, he's trying to coast round the corners with the looks of it. So I think that's why he's running wide.
Oh, this could be all over.
This could be all over.
7 seconds now. Oh
yeah.
God.
We could
have to do this in another lap.
We could be sitting here talking to Kevin Cox and congratulating him, which we didn't think we'd be doing, for winning the league.
So I thought Cox had to finish above Don Jordan. Oh, if he runs out of fuel, you mean? Yeah.
Well, yeah, if Don Jordan runs out of fuel, yeah, absolutely. There he is. There's Mr. Smug in the Aston Martin. He can surely see Don Jordan. He can see that podium's in his grasp with 1 minute 24 seconds to go.
I'm going to hold out hope that Don's been smart and he's just making sure that fuel's saved well before his last lap. Been ultra sure he's got enough for a measured lap, and hopefully he can get the foot down a bit in the last one. I hope.
Absolutely.
No offence to Rigel, but it'd just be a real shame for Don, I think.
Well, this is the last lap, isn't it? He's just is this the last lap? No, it's not the last lap. It will be the last lap.
It should. Well, it's going to be close. I think it will be, but it's tight for Calzetta to cross the line.
Absolutely. Just on board with Calzetta now.
Calzetta just ran a bit of Uti wide there.
Yeah,
I thought he was going to spin it.
Quite a few of them just ran wide. And Calzetta's now behind Cox, which Calzetta will complete another lap, which means Jordan will have to go another lap.
I can't handle it.
We're now looking at Jordan.
That's cruel.
So, I mean, this has changed the race completely. We don't know what's going on with Jordan. We're hoping we can talk to Jordan at the end to find out.
4 seconds behind Rigel now.
Yeah, and Rigel, look at him. Look at Mr. Smug. Look at him for Smug.
Jordan is struggling even more.
Yeah, absolutely. He's already 2.8 seconds slower than his average lap time on this lap alone.
Break. Oh, I thought you could. Sorry, getting loads of ambulance here.
Are you following Calzetta?
I'm in Jordan at the moment.
Okay, you're at Jordan. Just having a look at Calzetta. We could. I don't want to take it away from him and his win, but just on to Don Jordan again with Rigel right behind him. Is that the finish?
Rigel is 2.3 seconds behind.
2.3 seconds behind.
Unless Jordan can hold Rigel up, Rigel's going to pass him, because he's gaining way more than that a lap just now.
And we're just on board with Calzetta now. Listen, how many laps? How much longer have we got until Calzetta crosses the finish line? Because Calzetta is about to cross the finish line, and Rigel's about to take Jordan. Look, this is it, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. The winner of this week's race, a 2-hour stint. It's Gianmarco Calzetta. He's driven an absolutely stellar race. He's not done anything wrong. Oliver Curtin, who did qualify P1 in a fantastic qualifying event, which had rain all over the place. He's now going to be crossing the last corner to take a well-deserved second position.
Don just run really wide there.
Don Jordan has run really wide, and Mr. Smug is right there. Mr. Smug, they're side by side at the moment, both in the Aston Martin. Now, will Don actually put his foot down and try his hardest? Rigel's going to be really safe here and really careful, because he doesn't want either of them to go off, but Rigel's got the power and the pace. That is third position for RWB Rigel. Fantastic. Well done, Mr. Smug. He probably wasn't expecting that at all. Jordan just needs to keep this car on the track and keep it running if he
Do you know,
if he
maybe
can.
it's,
Should be all
maybe
right
it's
now.
not fuel. He's just persistently just going wide everywhere.
Yeah.
I think it's the tire
Oh.
pressure.
Well
Yeah,
done to
Jordan.
RWB,
Right,
Rigel.
right.
And well done to Jordan. Jordan is the champion of the
Oh, he still took it.
RWB League. Yeah, RWB. Yeah, Jordan is the champion. He just got the championship of that. Marco Moyes is just passing 5th position, a well-deserved 5th position there. Carlos Balanos, once again, he's coming round. He has gotten 6th position there. We are now looking Kevin Cox, who Balanos took Kevin Cox, and Kevin Cox has finished in 7th position, and that's 2nd in the championship, I believe. Big well done to Cox there. That's fantastic positions. Massive shout out to Audi, who's in the pits, but I'm assuming that's down to maybe. Is that? I'm guessing they're all in the pits. Yeah, they have. They've all passed. So
I'm just,
so we've
sorry, I'm just going to jump in. I think it might be worth getting Jordan into the commentary box once we've spoken to the top 3, just to find out what was happened, because I think everyone's quite interested in that.
Well, I think we're going to be moving
gonna,
up, aren't we, George?
Yeah, we're moving up. We're moving up. Yeah,
moving on. Da, 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 da. Sorry,
yeah,
I'm well excited.
We'll go up.
Do you want to tell everyone to be quiet? Because there's obviously this is. Are we doing this live? Are we?
Yeah, we'll do this live. And remember to move the live with you. Just say.
Yeah, no worries. Right, let's keep them quiet. Let's keep them quiet, and we'll move live. Hello, gents. Fantastic racing. Just wanted to first of all speak to first, second, and third of this race, which we've just had, the 2-hour race. You're all live, by the way, live streaming on YouTube. Gianmarco Calzetta, young man, that was an absolutely fantastic race you've raced today. You must be pretty pleased at the start. Obviously, making those moves past Curtin, and talk us through your race. How did you find it? You must be overwhelmed.
Grazie ragazzi, è stata una bellissima gara, and yeah, I'm joking, and yeah, it was a good race for me. I start very well. I gain the first position on the start, and yeah, I gain in the first part a good gap for me, a safe gap. And but when it starts to rain, I have a lot of difficulty to manage the car, because I did a mistake to put the right pressure on the tires, and they are constantly in overheating. Thankfully, next the rain stopped, and the track was dry. But yeah, I think that Jordan was very near to me, and we did a good. But yeah, on the last part of the race, I start to pick up the pace. I push hard, and again a new gap safe that. Yeah, the last part was pretty easy for me, because I was a bit distant from the other part of the grid, and was good. Thanks.
Fantastic. Well done. Well deserved. You sound pretty psyched about it. Mr. Curtin, that I don't know if you're here, but that was also an absolutely amazing performance from yourself, especially in qualifying. We followed you closely in that, and obviously we think Jordan had a few issues, and you obviously capitalised on that and took it, and you were catching him anyway at quite a nice little pace. So, Oliver, you happy with that, buddy? If you're here,
doesn't look like his mic's working, I'm afraid.
No, it doesn't. But well, if you can hear us, Oliver, again, fantastic race, well played, and I guess that moves us on to someone which we were kind of cheering on in the commentary box because, as per usual, Rigel, you were comfortably in fourth place until we all started screaming at the fact that you could have a third here. So, buddy, take us through your race and the epic finish.
Well, that was rather a surprise, wasn't it? I was watching the gap after the rain shower. I was watching the gap to the guys in front, and much to my dismay, it was getting bigger. I was going as fast as I could, and it was just I was like, oh well, never mind. I just won better than last week and the week before that, so I'll be quite happy with that. And then towards the end, I thought, I'll just have a look, see what's going on. So hang on, Jordan's not up there anymore. Oh, and I'm getting closer. And oh blimey, oh I can catch him here, and sure enough he fell into my grip with like a quarter of a lap to go. So commiserations, Jordan, but that's my best result in this league so far, and I'm afraid I'll take it.
Fantastic. And I guess man of the match as well. Jammer, did you want to give this one? As I've done most of the talking so far, and go through this one if you wanted to, or
sorry, me?
No, sorry, no, not you, Jordan. It was Jammer. Sorry. Well, basically, the man of the match we were given this race was Audi. Audi, you've been driving pretty stellar races over the last few weeks, and you really smashed this one. And was that Audi just leaving the room? I think Audi, are you here or? Oh, Audi is here. Audi, you got a driver for a race. That was a fantastic race, mate. Absolutely. And I suppose one to mention as well while we're here, Moyes, your crew on YouTube have been absolutely fantastic through this league. So you should really big them up, mate, because they've given you some great cheering. Anyway, this leads us to the end of the league and the championship, and that's yourself, Jordan, I believe, which has taken the championship. Jordan, what on earth happened at the end of this race? We're all dying to know. And also, congratulations, as Speed Demon Mr. Jake Moore was unfortunately not able to show tonight, as he was going to be participating in a 24-hour event, I think, and he couldn't do that in the end. So, Jordan, how are you, mate?
I just wanted it to end.
Tell us what happened.
Actually, the last 25 minutes I was running just front brakes. My rear brakes went bust, and last 3 laps I only got front right.
Oh wow! So it wasn't fuel at all, because a few of us thought you might be coasting for fuel. It was actually your brakes were shot.
Yeah, my brakes were shot. I mean, really, half an hour in when we were fighting with Zeta, which drew excellent race, I started to feel that I'm overshooting the corners, and then suddenly my left rear brake went bust, and then the other one, and then the other one, and I was just like, oh, come on, last lap, and then I saw Rigel coming in, and I knew that this lap was too much, and I gave him. I couldn't do anything.
Yeah, you scared the hell out of me at the fast right on the back straight. You backed off the throttle and nearly ran into the back of you.
Right. I'm going to pass you over now to congratulations, by the way, Jordan, and well done to the three finishers today, and everyone else actually, and commiserations to those who unfortunately had faced some bugs and some problems with the game tonight. Might be down to the latest patch, but well played to everyone who's been racing. I've thoroughly enjoyed commentating on you all and watching you all. So, Charger, am I passing over to you or?
No, Rigel's got something he wants to say.
Mr. Rigel, take it away, my friend.
Yeah, we're still waiting on some on the final results to come through.
They're being worked on.
All right, we're doing that. But in the meantime, I can go ahead and give you the gist at least. Ladies and germs, we do have some prizes to give out. I'm sure you'll all agree it's been a great league. It's been a big step up for us to host such big events with so many races, and I want to thank you all for your commitment and for paying attention to everything that's been asked of you. Also want to thank everyone involved on the organisational side. A lot more goes on behind the scenes than some of you might realise, and they deserve all our thanks for the effort that they've put in. So, with that said, onto the prizes. Yeah, prizes. Made possible by generous donations to the club by many of you guys. We wouldn't be in a position to do many of the things that we do without them. And it does allow us to present little perks like this. So, big thanks to all of those help make that possible. We might be doing some jiggery pokery because it depends where speed finishes. But it'll either be for third or fourth place, a £15 Steam wallet, or an affiliate linked gift voucher. So as soon as we know who that will be, we'll award that. Second place is a £20 Steam wallet. Same again, something perhaps from the one of our affiliate linked game sites. I think the CD Keys and one or two others are on there. And finally, first place will get a £25 Steam wallet or voucher for the same thing. So when we do get around to working that out, we'll let you know. So with that done, on to other news. I'm sure by now many of you are thinking that was great fun. When can we do it all again? The answer is very soon. We're proud to announce that the next ACC League has undergone its final polishing and is just round the corner. The RST Competizione League will begin 3 weeks from now. We've had a little twist this time. There are spots open for 25 individual races and 25 teams of 2. We've done this with a mind to being able to incorporate more races into the league, along with adding an interesting spice into the mix. It does mean as a consequence the races will be slightly longer at 90 minutes. I think a lot of you will agree 90 minutes was probably where it would have been nice to finish tonight. That last half an hour was pretty tested. But this should open up more strategy options, and I'm sure many of you will relish the challenge. Sign-ups will be open soon, along with all the relevant details. We do anticipate the limited slots for teams to be taken up pretty quickly, so if you want to get one of those spots, don't hang about. Other than that, don't forget Monday is a test race for next week's 6 hour. Do your best to be clued up on all the procedures, and we'll see you on track soon. I think we may be able to conjure up the poster for the next league.
Done.
Lovely. So you can all have a look at Fleck's lovely handiwork again. But yeah, just a final word. Yeah, thanks everybody for coming. Hope you enjoyed it.
We have the results.
Oh, here we go.
You got them, Rudders?
I'll just go to race app, dude.
Yeah, I've got race app.
Oh, they're posted. They're posted. Okay.
Right, so we'll go with fourth place then. So fourth place in a £15 Steam wallet voucher, whatever you want to call it, will go to Moyes. Well done, boys.
Clap, clap, clap.
Well played, dude.
Thank you. Plenty of virtual applause. Second place by 7 points. Wasn't a lot in it. Is Kevin Cox. So £20 voucher to you.
Thank you.
And perhaps to soften the blow of the disappointing end to the race. In first place, a £25 voucher, Jordan.
Woohoo! Yeah!
Well done, mate.
Well done.
Well done.
Well played, bud.
Well done
Thanks,
to
guys.
everyone.
Well done, mate. I'll just say, looking at just the breakdown of the scoring, Jordan, in your first three, you were kind of 60, 62, 61, good finishes, but it's the second last, you get that second place, and yeah, just it was so close. If you look at the scoring, just Jake missing the last race kind of scuttled it for him, but yeah, super.
Guys,
it was
thank you
an
so
amazing season. I never thought when I joined RWB a month ago that it would make such an impact on my month and my racing. So, guys, you are more.
Yeah.
Thanks,
Cheers, boys.
mate.
You're welcome.
I had a blast, fellas. Thank you guys so much. That was so enjoyable, so pleasurable.
Finally got the rainy race at the end.
I still didn't get to give you the one finger wave though, did I? I'm gutted. Next league.
Yeah, there's always time. There's always time.
Yeah, thoroughly enjoyable race to commentate on tonight. So thank you, everyone.
Yeah, and I guess with that, we'll be closing the stream down now. So thank you, everyone, to watching on YouTube. Thank you very much, as always, to making our nights entertaining. Obviously, following you guys and the Moyes crew and the Jordan crew and the Winch crew. So, yeah, really enjoy it. As per usual, guys and girls watching the stream, if you don't want to race alone, race RWB. We're always here to help. As you can see, we host great events. We've got people training and giving you tips and guides. So, yeah, see you soon on the next live stream. Bye for now, everyone.
Bye.